If Love and Gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marco.
That's not.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They
don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay. Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still to the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof I'm alive by the motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like under the city, the driver's side floor. Gucci a large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Hands up as ever, and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube with view for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, what they gonna do next?
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
The turnaround has begun for the fish.
Hey, they scored, but here, they scored enough runs in one game to win 5 of those other games.
Dude,
Right?
let me tell you something. There's nothing quite like a Sunday afternoon, 6th inning, just lulling to sleep on the couch. I was just like, Max Meyer. Once the perfecto was out of the way, I was like, snoozeville up until the heat came. I had my alarm set. I was like, I feel this coming. I feel it coming. I'm going to set this for 5, and I'm going to be out for a little bit here. And it felt great.
Hey, I need to introduce you to golf.
Hmm?
I need to introduce you to golf. Golf is good nap TV.
Oh yeah,
The difference between golf and any other sport is they give you updates on how everybody got there every hour or so. So if you wake up and they're playing the last 3 holes, they'll catch you up in how they got there.
Dende, you have a favorite nap sport? Anything in the ambient sound of your TV that you like to snooze to?
The worst is soccer or hockey. Too much.
Yeah. Oh, you can't nap hockey.
You can't nap soccer or hockey. Yeah, baseball. I like baseball because I can, leave for a little while, maybe do some laundry, open up another beer, and then come back. And, the game's still kind of just going on.
Just doing its thing.
Yeah.
Especially on a Sunday. It's just, I don't know. It feels like you can go pitch clock all you want. I feel like it's at a leisurely pace. But yeah, good for the Marlins. They get a win, and then we learn afterwards that Skip Schumaker rats off a ship. They're rats off a ship on him after the season, apparently. So
already,
that's the word. The word was after these reports come out after this glorious first win that they had terminated their club option for him after this season, and so he's basically a free agent after this year.
You think that he was Kim Ang's person, and that
seems like
more
it.
to do with anything?
Seems like it. Seems like it.
It seems like something Peter came in and said, "I need my own guy."
Does he?
Yep. You know what? Here's the weird thing about baseball.
Manager of the year, good qualifications.
Yeah, he's just manager in the National League.
Here's the weird thing about baseball. As much as you want to put it on a change at manager, don't they have the least impact of what happens on the field?
That's the thought on something
of all the sports.
I mean, like, you think with all the here's the thing, there are more parameters now because of like the pitching change rules and all that stuff that you got to be with. That I think it is still important to have a guy who knows how to run the game, especially in today's day and age.
Yeah, but in that,
I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, if you had to say, like, if you had to say, like, who's more important out of the major sports, I mean, hockey seems to care the least. They're like, oh, we'll fire a guy willy nilly. It's Tuesday, we'll fire a guy. But I see what you're saying. But because still,
in the end,
for doing his job, he did a good job. And now, like, they're like, yeah, but
in the end, like, usually coaches get fired for, their scheme, the process in which they do things, or whatever. Like baseball, you can put a guy in the bat if he don't get a damn hit. Like, how's that on the manager? Or you can keep like,
I mean, you
The
can
way
say
things have happened the first week and a half of the season is you could change pitchers when you get rocked. But the other guy, if he come in and throw like crap, it's like, how's that on you?
yeah, look, ultimately you need the talent, but like I'm sure we could all say that Mike McDaniel, like what's his famous saying? Like people like the plays that work that I call, you know?
Right, exactly.
So I
mean,
don't
but
know. I just think it's one of these things for me where it's like for that to leak, like the day you get your first win, man,
no.
that's
somebody high up. released
yeah, that to me was kind of rotten. I don't know.
Somebody said, "Hey, Mish."
Yeah.
Hey, Mish.
You feel like Mish just is like Mish is just trying to go about his Sunday and
Yeah,
just like,
and he goes, "Hey, woo, woo, Mish, look,
hey, Mish.
look like we got a big win, got our first win of the season. Everybody's probably a little excited.
Mish just wants to
We've
go to
already decided to move on."
yeah. I just wanted to get some rib rolls. Like, he's like, no, Mish, I know it's only this third series, but just so you know, Skip, done after this year.
You didn't hear that from me.
Yeah, just
just
throw that in.
use your line. No. We have a line. Sources. No name. Sources.
To be fair, I don't think Mish broke this. I believe it was Bob Nightingale, but he did confirm that.
Right.
And, I saw Mish.
But I'm just saying that
Mish said the same thing on Twitter. Where he's like, the timing very odd that this would leak right now.
Like you could at least
lied to us.
You could have went through a month of the season.
Yeah.
You could have went through 2 months of the season. Does it matter that you do it after the first 2 weeks?
I think you should wait until like it's not an embarrassing record. It feels dirty to do it like that, where he's like, oh, he was in the first 0-9 start for any team in 8 years.
Here's the kicker, though. We've seen this team turn things around. It's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happens at the end of the year if they're above 500? You see what I'm saying?
Happen,
but
yeah,
I mean, that's what you're saying. They made when they change in the middle of the season and end up winning the World Series one year.
Dude, come on.
I know, better team. Baseball is weird in that you could go on a run and sometimes having the big names is irrelevant because they all can hit, they all can pitch. Now, I will say this. The thing that's concerned me, and I asked everybody about this, and you heard me. Pitching. Right? We talk about all the bats or whatever. They've scored enough runs to win a lot of these games. You're losing games 8-7 and 8-5 and so the pitching is always going to be the problem. Depending on the manager.
I'll give them somewhat of a pass with the pitching. You lose 3/5 of your rotation. Okay. I mean, you're going to go through some troubles. Jesus Luzardo's not an ace. Dan and Day when I were talking about this before the show, like he's a nice pitcher. He's probably a middle of the rotation guy. He's not a guy you want going up against your aces. I think Max Meyer has been one of their top prospects. He looks good. He looks like he's got some stuff to him, but it's tough for the Marlins because it's not only that you're starting this year with 3 guys injured. Your top prospect goes and gets Tommy John. But now, like, you're also, like, bringing all these guys back off of injury and being like, hey, figure it out.
Right.
Figure it out.
Now, and my question to you is
that you figure it out.
And my question to you is that how's that on the manager?
It's not. That's why it's dirty.
I'm saying?
That's why that report is dirty.
Right. I got you.
So, that's what that is there. But
I found myself yelling at the TV last night, though. I don't normally do that.
You found yourself yelling at the TV at the basketball team?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, speaking of naps, apparently the Heat lost the alarm clock of when that game started yesterday because they were sleepwalking through that first quarter.
Oh.
It was really, really frustrating. And I got to tell you, can anybody do anything about TJ McConnell? Anybody? Anybody? Stop that intangibles. Stop them.
Yeah.
Stop them. Stop letting him go right by you. That dude.
That's the craziest thing.
What are we doing?
That's the craziest thing. It's not that, because when you say intangibles, you know what I'm thinking. 5 or 6 from 3.
Nope.
Not blowing by folks.
There was one folk he was particularly like enjoying cooking. Tyler. Oof.
Hey.
Throw Caleb on him, please. Stop him.
Tyler, that's your guy.
Look, you got to look with Tyler. You take with what you get from him defensively. You know that he ain't a stopper, but like at some point when TJ McConnell gets by somebody under the rim for the third time and 14's like, huh.
But here's the problem.
On him.
Here's the problem with basketball offense. They'll just keep running They'll just keep running pick and rolls till Tyler gets on somebody else, and then it'll be somebody else. You think it was just TJ McConnell. It was just him because that's who was on Tyler. But if they put somebody else on him, then they'll just keep running pick and rolls and get the guy they want on Tyler. That's what basketball teams do.
TJ McConnell, I think, is 21 for his last 25 against the Heat. Killing us. We're watching the most important game, and we're losing to not Halliburton, not Pascal Siakam.
And can I just tell you, I remember that back in the day when I wanted that big
Miles Turner?
Yeah. No. Like, yeah. He doesn't move at all, and he keeps shooting threes.
Yeah, him and Bam hate each other.
I wonder why. Like Bam is like, you don't play this position like me.
Yeah, he did hit a 3 right in his face though.
I know.
That was a killer.
After what, 5 tries?
Well, listen, they had a cushion, dude. It was annoying yesterday. Like every game, like it's just like every time he was like get to 4, then like bang bang, 2 and 1s or a 3, and just like
I've never seen that many and 1s to end the game ever.
Yeah, how do you put yourself in a hole like that? How do you let that happen?
Yeah, you're not overlooking the game.
How do you let that happen, Dan? How do you let that happen?
The thing that's the thing I was yelling at, right? I was yelling at the TV for this reason. Everybody talked about the importance of the game, right?
We all knew.
And I didn't care that the other team made some shots. I wasn't worried about that. But that first quarter energy was not conducive to winning a high important game. So if they had come out with a whole bunch of energy and Indiana made 5 or 6 threes and you fall behind double digits because of that, I could live with that. But no.
Schmeathan tells us, how about Tobin? Tell us more about your precious scary hours. He had a neck injury, man. I didn't know that. He said the hotel beds were bad.
They are who they are. That's what I say. But that I would be deemed a hater if I said that. You're in a position right now where you can lose to any team in the NBA. You can also beat any team in the NBA. You've done neither consistently enough for me not to say one or the other. That makes it hard to watch games. It doesn't mean they can't win a series. But it doesn't mean they can't lose in the play-in.
I would disagree with that this year, though. I would say that their frustration this year is like, yes, they had the Washington stinker, but for the most part, every time they've needed an important one this year, they've come very close, but generally it's not enough. Like anytime they've had a signature matchup this year that they really needed a game or needed to show something, like you choke against Philadelphia, you come out with a rough start and you can't execute late against Indiana. You can't beat Denver. You can't beat Boston. You're there. You're competitive. You're right there, but you can't get it over the finish line. And typically, Spo is a guy who likes to pride himself on that late game execution, situational stuff. And the better teams have just come out on top. The teams that have had the better records this year, because they've TCB'd lately against the stinky teams. But
right. Well, then you know what they've done? They've basically slotted themselves as far as where they are in the East, right?
Yeah.
So you just work your way up, better than them, and then you get to the other 7 or 8 teams above them, right? And they don't beat those teams. So guess where the Heat are?
But just to fumble the bag like this, like you've had this opportunity.
You've had opportunities. You've had
this opportunity right in front of you. Knicks dealing with injuries, Bucks dealing with injuries, Cavs collapsing, Sixers finally getting back in B. They didn't even have B last night. What do they get? 50 points from Maxey.
Right.
You know,
I always wonder this, and I don't, and you can, correct me if I'm wrong. This, like, most of these upper echelon teams have two guys. They're scoring from 50 to 60 every night. Right? The Heat do it differently. Whereas you might have one guy score 20 plus, one guy right around 20. But can you win when you can count on 50 or 60 points from the two stars on the other team, and you have to rely on who knows on any given night? You don't have that guaranteed 40 or 50 points that you can depend on.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, it's look at
all the teams. Everybody has two guys. I mean, LeBron and AD are fifth, and they're at like 45 points.
Yeah, you have four guys who can give you 20, but like, how many guys could you say on a given night? If that guy's not on, could any of these guys give you 40?
Right. And so when I watch them play these guys, and you go, okay, we're playing against Embiid, and then Tyrese Maxey scores 35. Right? Like, we have guys who can do that, but it comes out of nowhere. We don't have those 40 to 50 points that, okay, we're going to get 40 to 50 points from these two guys, and then whoever else come off the bench or the other guys, we need to get some points from them. We can't depend on that. And I know they've won, without that, but also with Jimmy and Bam going 45, 50 during the playoffs, right? And so,
he doesn't do it in the regular season. I mean, he's never like Jimmy Butler's never scored 40 in the regular season for the Heat. It's a crazy statistic. He's never done it.
I understand that, but look at where we are, right?
I know. It's their trend. We'll hear from Jimmy Butler coming on up. I'm sure his comments will thrill Heat fans. So we'll take a break. Back after this. All right. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 here on the program. Streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, Miami 560 WQAM, where you guys can watch us live every single day. You can get some clips on demand. You guys can watch Sports Day, of course, with Vlad up on the YouTube channel, as well as listen to them each and every weekend. Hawk and Crowder. We're gonna get Joe up there one day. We're gonna get him on that YouTube. We're gonna get him. I'm gonna convince him. I tell you. You know, well, one of these days, I'm gonna get Joe on.
Can I just tell you?
Hmm?
No, you won't.
I think I will.
No.
I'm telling you.
No.
I think by next football
because
season,
here, it's not just Joe.
Hmm?
That means you're giving Hollywood more work.
What's the work?
Nah,
I'm gonna get up
every day at 5 a.m. and come in here and be there.
No, you're not, Dan.
Come on, just get it up.
Get up. I mean, come in from the bars at 5 a.m.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Exactly.
I'll stop by and set them up before I go to sleep.
Man, if you guys are just tuning in, the Heat, they lose yesterday, an absolute crusher.
And the game wasn't that close.
And you know what we're really overlooking with the Heat is, maybe they can get into the playing game, make the run. They could have really used that week off if they got the 6th seed to just kind of rest up and get ready. Everyone's overlooking that. That was really important.
Here.
I think that was bigger than anything, honestly.
Dan, but here's the thing. I think they want to. They want to get that week off, right? But like at this point in the season, they are too inconsistent to compete with anyone that is pushing for the Eastern Conference. And it doesn't mean they can't turn it around.
Well, I mean, the East, this is the thing, though. Like, we can't
everybody other than Boston is struggling.
You can beat anybody.
The thing that's different with last year is you could argue the East was even better last year. Everybody's kind of meandering and bumping into themselves right now. Milwaukee's a mess. Orlando's fine. New York is injured. Cleveland has been a disaster.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is the one you probably got to worry about because they're healthy again. So they're actually the real team. But you're not going to face them unless you're going to face them probably in the play-in, but then you won't face them in a series unless it's the conference finals. But the thing that's frustrating with Miami is like, these opportunities were there with them last year, dude. Going into the play-in, it was everybody thinking the same thing. Like the play-in into the Bulls, because remember how Clint Capella, I mean, he flossed with the Miami Heat. He killed them in the first play-in game. Right. And then you go into that Bulls game, you're like, oh, this team is not going to do anything at all. They're probably going to lose to the Bulls. So it's really, really hard to bury them until they're buried. But the things that have been different this year, first of all, they're not as good in the clutch. You know, all these clutch games that they mastered at last year, they just don't seem to have as good a grip on it this year. You know, with Jimmy, I don't know if we quite have the guy who has said it's that time, Jim VP. I don't know if that guy is able to summon that. I think that there are better pieces to this team this year. I love how Jovic is playing. I mean, Jovic was amazing yesterday. I was so happy for him.
He has been I mean, like his size and his length and his ability to handle the ball and shoot the three and play defense. Like, it has been, I could see him with this team for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, the thing is, they could have used that week off. And like, you to have these golden chances all the time, like everybody was begging Miami to sit here. Hey, it's all there for you. You guys are getting healthy at the right time. You have these key games going to, and they just can't do it. It's
but here's my thing. Like, just because you want to do something doesn't mean you have the ability to do it, right? And like, we know what opportunities are there. They know more than we do, right? They have more of an investment in the outcome of these games than we do. And so to see them come out and start a game that way, right? And to kind of make it respectable at the end while not, doing the same things they did last year. Like, I'll tell you what, when that game got close in the fourth quarter last year, you be like, we got this. We got defense going to lock them down. we're going to get some key buckets or what have you. But now the key buckets come to keep it within 3 or to get it within 2. And then you go give up an and one, right? I never seen so many and ones with a minute left to go in a game.
That was a garbage call on the Miles Turner, giving him a foul shot. So that just Scott Foster, answer for your crimes.
Yeah, but so from that standpoint, like, last year ain't this year. And although you have the same players, how you do things are going to have to be different from year to year. They just are. The seasons don't play the same, And so from that standpoint, if they had played the same way as they played last year, being clutch at the end of games, yeah. But it's something that's just a little different. Not much, but a little different in these games, these important games at the end of games. Something's a little off, and it's costing you games.
Let's hear from Jimmy Butler. This is him after yesterday. Jimmy Butler said the comeback didn't matter in the fourth quarter because they lost.
Shots weren't going in, and then it was the typical our way when we're not guarding anybody whenever shots go in. And it's great to, say we fought back, we were resilient, and we did all of that, but we still lost. So none of that matters.
You always wonder, he is a big on that, where he's always if we don't make shots, we don't defend. What part does he have in that? Because
right, exactly.
You're the best player,
and you're the guy that's
his answer for things. What point does he say, hey, it doesn't matter? We're still. And look, to be fair, Jimmy had a nice first quarter. He's probably the only guy in the first quarter that showed up, to be fair. But at what point, when that's always the reasoning for why they got off to a bad start, when does he slap somebody upside the head and say, hey, we got to stop this?
Or when does somebody that has a voice say we got to lock him down defensively?
I was gonna say, are we missing Udonis Haslem? Is that the difference this season?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But he's talking about when we don't make shots, we struggle on defense. Mm-hmm. And I was always told in this game, great defense ends up being good offense. And he's basically saying the totally opposite. If we don't get good offense, we don't play good defense.
Remember last year that they had this huge game it was 75 games in, and it was against the Nets to get to the 6th seed, and they got waxed by 30. And you're just like, are you kidding me? That team you're going to lose to? Right. You're going to go and you're going to allow the Nets to have better playoff seeding than you. And yeah, the same thing. You had a Tyrese Halliburton who was off yesterday. Yeah, I guess dealing with a back injury, but it was right there for you. Him stinking up the joint, and you're going to let TJ McConnell nuke your chances to avoid the play-in? TJ McConnell! Unbelievable, dude.
His shooting percentage against the Heat is what, 89% or something like that?
I thought you were going to say 100.
It felt like it.
Here was Jimmy Butler. He says, listen, whatever the standing situation is, you have to maintain a positive attitude.
Man, winning out or not, you just always got to keep that same energy. You always got to smile. You always got to realize that it's never as bad as it always seems. And we get to hoop for a living, man. Everybody should be smiling. Everybody should be having fun. And everybody should be enjoying not only playing basketball, but being around one another. Whenever you realize that basketball is a game, no matter if you put food on the table or how important it is to you, you just got to have fun and you got to smile, man. So as long as we do that, I know that the wins will come.
You got a week. When?
You guys seem to like each other just fine. I don't think it's a chemistry thing, at least a personal chemistry thing.
But here's the thing with chemistry. Chemistry is not celebrating somebody else's success. There's another side of chemistry too. That's putting the demands on performance within a team, with one another, that I can come to you because we boys and say, you got to get your ass in gear. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That I can come to my fellow teammate because he knows it's coming from a good place because we boys, that we got to pick it up, right? So I'm just wondering who's saying, stop worrying about making shots. Let's stop them from scoring now.
I don't like that at all.
But that's the way it's got to be. That's the way it has to be. And that works. That works. Another way. You know what's fun? a 3-on-2 break with an alley-oop dunk? Could you play good defense?
Are they not the worst fast break team in the history of basketball? Like, he's right there. Oh, I got it. Throw it to Tyler with someone on him.
You
just take the 2 points.
At the end of the game, when Yovi tried to throw it across court.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Tua was taking the ball in.
He's a rascal. You gotta. He's very excited. He's playing in his fourth quarter.
He's like, hey, I'm 20. Like, hey, I'm 20. What do you want?
Ethan says he's gone from emo Jimmy to hippie kumbaya Jimmy.
Oh, ayahuasca. We call that ayahuasca Jimmy.
Guys, it's okay. If we don't make it, it's fine. I'm gonna do an album with Morgan Wallen. It's all good. It's all good, babe.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like Killer Jimmy. He sounds like,
I thought it was that time.
We're blessed to be playing a sport that we love and being friends. And you just want a guy come out there like, we got one tonight. We're gonna change.
What Jimmy would usually come out and say, I don't give a damn about that. We got to win.
Here's one more from him on making things hard on themselves.
If we end up in the play-in, we end up in the play-in. We all have a job to do anyways. But like that's how we've always played. We've never made it easy on ourselves. Why make it easy now?
So wait. So he's basically giving us a heads up on more losses, right?
I'm gonna that Toronto loss on the last Sunday just to stay in the 8th seed so they don't get to play in at home. Oh, that's gonna kill me. That's gonna kill me. I gotta sit here. I gotta rely on Wembanyama to save my ass against the Sixers.
You see him against Joel Embiid.
He didn't play last night. That's what makes it even more frustrating.
Maxey did.
Maxey killed everybody. He's been killing everybody.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, do we have that guy?
Not like that. Not right now.
Not even one guy though. You know what I mean? Like at some point, without that guy, does it not catch up to you? Now, I'd say of all the guys on the team that I think could go out and score you 35, they both play the same position. That's Tyler and Scary Terry, right?
Didn't play Scary in the fourth quarter yesterday.
Didn't
He
play
said he had
him.
a neck. He said he had a neck
Right.
thing, but
And the other thing is that he's the only one that will put pressure on the paint. Tyler just played perimeter basketball yesterday. He didn't really go up whenever he got inside the quarter. He had a good fourth quarter, but he never really went to the rim. You remember we used to see Tyler go to the rim, and Terry would go to the rim and put pressure on the defense and then kick it out, right? So you have those two guys. They play a little bit different, but they play the same position. But other than that, like, can you definitively say, hey, this guy can get hot and score me 30?
Also, Duncan's out there looking like Frankenstein with his back injury.
Oh, he can barely move.
JFig says Morgan Wallen got arrested last night? Really? This guy's a hooligan.
Last night, we let the liquor talk.
So did dude from Texas, Big Boy, the first rounder.
Oh, the first round. Yeah, he did. He got a DWI.
Yeah.
You thought maybe that was a second rounder, you know, little
dude.
Little Laramie.
Wait. Let me explain something to you. For as much as people say that's important, his ass still gonna get drafted in the first round. Y'all know it. Stop sitting here acting like it.
Red flag.
He got red flag.
Red flag, dude.
Yeah, you know what the NFL gonna do? Here's what the teams that they say, hey, he's still available. You know, he got that DUI. We waved that off. We waved that red flag off. Let's go.
We'd like to introduce him here to the draft. It's like, hey, would you like a driver? What can we do for you?
We'll get you a driver.
Get your driver down here.
That's all right. You're gonna be in some trouble. You're gonna have to go through the program, right? We're gonna be testing your ass all the time, right? But here's the deal. You fit right where Christian Wilkins used to be. Hey, listen. And here's how it's gonna go. look, it's unfortunate what happened. Everybody makes mistakes. We're going to do everything we can and provide resources so that he can grow from this and be a better football player and better yet, a better human from going through this. That's it. Mark the tape. Mark the tape, because he going to get drafted in the first round, and whoever draft him, whatever logo you see behind me, that's what they going to say.
We got
we all going to sit here and chuckle and say, oh, my goodness, he was right. Why?
JFig, next segment, you got to get us the Morgan Wallen mugshot. It's tremendous. It's a great mugshot. Morgan Wallen arrested for throwing chair off Nashville rooftop bar.
Nashville.
Woof.
So wait. So
I'll get the deets. We got to take a break. I'll get the deets on. I don't know. Take a break. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take
My
up
man
until
smiling.
2.
Hey, by the way, my man smiling like I was just doing redneck stuff. Let's go.
Just
What's up?
teasing. All right, so we were talking about this last segment. We were talking about Morgan Wallen, Jimmy Butler's friend. He country music star, probably the biggest country music star going right now.
Doesn't look very country.
At one point was canceled for getting caught saying the N-word on TV. Did an apology interview with Michael Strahan.
Why you got to do a?
But you know why, dude? What do you mean?
Come on, man. We falling for
Go
this.
Strahan? Why do you know why?
You know what I tell people? You know why I don't use that word? Because I don't want nobody around me to feel comfortable using it. And I don't ever want you to think that it's cool or okay. So if you don't hear me using it, I'm black. Don't even step into those waters, bruh.
Agreed.
See? So, yeah. So I don't know what people just could. No.
Yeah, being a white man from the South, you were raised that you don't even sing that word when it comes on songs. Like, don't even sing along.
Like, you couldn't have picked a whiter dude. Right?
He is definitely
right.
Listen, dude. From Tennessee. So he says TMZ reports Morgan Wallen is facing criminal charges after allegedly throwing a chair off a roof of a downtown bar in Nashville this weekend. According to online records, the country singer was arrested and booked Sunday night on 3 felony counts of reckless endangerment and 1 misdemeanor count of disorderly conduct. He was later released from jail, posting $15,000 bond. Per legal docs obtained by TMZ detailing the alleged incident, the chair came hurling down from 6 stories down outside of Chief's Bar on Sunday evening, which landed a few feet away from some Nashville PD officers. So not only did he throw the chair, but he threw it at some cops.
Wait, here you go. Here's how that went. They were doing shots. Come on, get this shot. And then they say, "Hey, Bubba, want to see this?" And that's how it starts.
It says the officers investigated what happened, and soon they were told that Morgan was responsible. The cops investigated surveillance footage and say they witnessed. No, they witnessed Morgan throwing the chair. Eyewitnesses claimed that Morgan laughed afterwards.
Yeah, if I got arrested every time I threw a chair or something off a rooftop bar, I'd be in jail all the time. Like, he probably thought it was innocent. It just happened to land near cops.
Except for all the people down there.
Officers took Morgan into custody and hauled him away, part of which was caught on camera. You could see Morgan sitting in the back of the cruiser, apparently yelling.
Yeah, that's not good.
Wallen's attorney.
He was just doing redneck stuff.
Have some fun, baby.
There you go. That listen, when you get arrested, that's what I want you to say in the back of the car. I was just having some fun, baby.
Wallen's attorney Warwick Robinson.
Oh my goodness, he ain't country. Any country names with man start Warwick?
At 10:53 p.m. Sunday evening, Morgan Wallen was arrested downtown for reckless endangerment. So he is cooperating fully with authorities. One would hope so. This isn't the first time that Wallen got in hot water. He was arrested in 2020 for public intoxication and disorderly conduct, and of course, landed in a world of controversy after his N-word incident in 2021.
Like, listen, not for nothing.
And just to show everybody the mugshot, JFig's thrown it up a couple times, but he is cheesing in this mugshot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no bigs. Just a little visit to Nashville PD here. Looks like it could be his license photo.
Right. I would say this, that that's basically he just being a fool, right? That's it. That's not like, we have menaces in society, right? We have guys that we need off the streets from doing crazy stuff. If not for the chair going 6 flights down and possibly hitting somebody, I think the scare, right? The scare of what could have happened was probably more dangerous than what actually happened.
Yeah, for sure. Like it really
Right.
could. You could hurt somebody throwing a
Right.
chair from 6 stories down.
Yeah.
Eminem says he was mad Miami lost. Yeah, he probably heard Jimmy Butler's comments. He goes, "Fun! I had you in the over, Jimmy."
Yeah. So
Dade South says he needs to take a power walk with Liam Neeson. That was crazy.
yeah. I was like, I used to be racist, but then I start power walking.
Robin,
I'm like,
I tried power walking and really eased the pressure the way I used to feel.
I got to tell you,
He's got some doozies, that Liam
I
Neeson.
tried that power walking thing, and it didn't make me any less angry. It made me angry and tired.
Schmeaton says Morgan Wallen making the same face TJ McConnell made whenever Herro was guarding him.
No, dude. Oh my goodness. Oh, I almost got in a fight at the golf course.
What?
Yeah.
Like when you went golfing this weekend, not at Live.
No, I went golfing this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Live was great. I watched some of it on TV. It was awesome.
All right. Who won? Is there the Crushers win?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know who won. I was just watching.
He's like, he was just in the background.
Yeah. So here's what happened. So I was done golfing and I was leaving. And these two men drove the cart in the golf cart in the parking lot, and it shuts off because there's signs everywhere say you can't drive the golf carts and it'll cut off. And that's not even from golf. They were going from the driving range to the tee, which there's no tee box over there. So I'm leaving. I'm pulling to leave out. So I'm turning to leave out. Their cart is blocking me like this and it's cut off, right? So the starter comes over, right? So they're right here, right? Blocking my way. So the only way you can go out is backwards. So they back up, right? And instead of letting me go out, they go in front of me and back out with me in behind. So now I'm following this golf cart going 3 miles an hour. They get in the street. They back up down the street. I'm still in front of them. Then they pull, into a spot where the cart turns back on, right? Instead of turning around and going down the cart path, they go back in the street. So now they're blocking somebody else in the cart path. I say, hey guys, the cart path is 5 feet away. Mind your business. I said, first of all, you should have let me go back there.
Oof.
Right? And then he yelled something else. So I stopped, parked my car, and got out. Or are you going to do what?
Oh.
Or you going to do what? Right? What? So I start walking towards him. Because everybody want to yell from far away.
Yeah.
But I want to see you yell at this big-ass black man up in your face. So I walked over there. And this other buddy, I say, hey, I look right at his friend. I say, you about to watch your friend get a beat down if you say one more word. Say something else. Because you're the one that's going to yell at me for blocking me from getting out of the parking lot. I'm going to beat the brakes off your ass. Say another word. So they backed up and left. I said, hey, buddy, there's a yellow and a white line on the cart path to take you to the 2 golf courses. That's for the stupid people. You're in the middle of the street. So what does that make you?
Man.
That was it.
That's good.
You ain't gonna talk trash. Talk trash. Because here's the deal. I ain't never been afraid to lose a fight. And that's the worst person to fight.
It's true.
The worst person to fight. Then the little guy that get beat up and he keep getting up and putting his dukes up again. That's me. Except I'm a little bigger. So, yeah. So the 2 guys, and then so they go to ask the starter, who was that guy? And the starter say, you don't want to know. Right? Because they're like, no. You're gonna talk trash to me because you blocking me? I'm like, oh my goodness.
Speaking of golf.
What's up?
He loves golf.
Loves golf. It is perfect. It's a perfect sport to get out and.
Well, Tua is in Hawaii or was in Hawaii over the weekend with some teammates because he has a foundation camp and was asked about his contract. We'll hear what Tua has to say about where things stand coming up next. All right, welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. We got Dan Day filling in for Frog Boy over the next couple days. Appreciate you sitting in with us today, Dan.
Glad to be here, man. Life's good. The Marlins are winning.
They are winning.
The Heat are in a
Hey.
playoff hunt.
Dan,
The Heat right now are in a playoff meandering. I don't think I'd call it a hunt. They're just kind of bouncing off the walls right now, waiting for the clock to run out and
Pretty much.
seeing when can we get to something of real consequence that'll either end this thing or just make everybody be like, see, they did it again. It's only ended. This is only ending two ways, right? This is only ending with them in the finals or them getting swept in the first round. It's only ending two ways.
You think that's what it's gonna look like?
Yeah, I think it's going one of two ways because here's what's going to happen. They're going to end up the 8th seed and they're going to do two things are going to happen, Leroy. They're either going to get the doors blown off them by Boston in the first two games of that series by like 35 apiece in each game, or Jimmy Butler is going to take home court advantage in game one and they're going to beat Boston in 7 games. And then there's going to be nobody in the East that can stop them. It goes two ways. There's only two ways this goes.
Dan, I'm going to show you a picture. Tell me what it is.
Is that the Cabildo
Where?
in New Orleans? That's Jackson
No,
Square.
that's Paris, dude.
Oh,
that's why I showed it to Dan, because that's the first thing I said. It looks like home.
well, it's
Yeah,
got a lot of
They send me
friendship
pictures
stuff.
back in, like Jackson Square, and they send me statues looks just like Jackson Square. And I'm like, this is crazy. I grew up in a dump, and it's associated with some of the finest things in the world.
Yeah, it looks like St. Louis Cathedral in the Cabildo
Yes,
right there in Jackson
right.
Square.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to our headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy a truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks. I was conflicted here because the Marlins finally won, so I can't go black truck, but then the Heat. So I don't know.
My truck is acceptable. Panthers lost this weekend.
Panthers
Marlins did
lost.
lose the series. Like it was
Right.
not a good. It was not a great weekend for the local sports teams for sure. But we'll get back into the Heat a little bit later on. I want to switch over to some Dolphins. So, did you see Leroy this weekend? Tua Tagovailoa was having a camp back home in Hawaii. He was having a youth camp for the first time. He does this in Miami, and I think he's done this in Alabama. But he's now brought it home to the islands. So he was having some of the kids free camp for them. They get to come and catch these things out. And he also had some teammates with him. He had Terron Armstead with him and Jalen Ramsey with him participating in the camp.
Oh, they wanted to go to Hawaii.
Well, listen.
Hey, it's a nice place to visit. It's expensive as hell, and it's a long trip. People don't realize it's a 6-hour flight from LA.
Yep. This was interesting though. So, a couple things to make a note of this. First off, people are claiming that Tua looks slim. They think he looks like he's in fantastic shape.
Can I explain it?
Sure.
Okay, so when you first get into the league, you're like 21, 22 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
You start working out, and basically you're not your grown man self. So you're building muscle and you're getting swole. If you look at the pictures when I got into the league versus when I was 25, 26, I only weighed like 5 pounds less, but it looks like I'm slim.
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, you have these giant shoulder pads. I can't tell what size, to be honest with you.
But so it's basically after a couple of years in the NFL, you actually get your adult body. So that's what's kind of helping him. The first thing, and keep in mind, he wasn't doing a whole lot of working out when he was rehabbing his hip. So he was very limited in what he could do as far as like cardio or, things like that. And then he was playing. So then at the next year, he started doing more stuff, and then we start hearing about his off-season workout. And then this past year, he did a little bit more, and now he's going to get into it a little bit. So now his body is going to start taking form. So when people say, oh, look how chunky he is, look at a lot of NFL players, their first couple of years versus what they look like after 3 or 4 years. after getting to a program and a system and figuring out, and your body figuring out what it's going to go through.
And we also had that whole thing last year where Ryan Clark fat shamed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here was a couple photos here for our viewing audience. Tua Tagovailoa, he has some new ink. He is now added to the left arm, but you can see here on Terron Armstead's Instagram that he does look like he's in good shape. That he's slimmed up a little bit. You could see Tua looking like he's been working out in a good way here for the offseason. So I like it. I like
as these years build on, you're gonna say, oh wow, it's not like, and keep in mind, remember, the first thought of Tua was to bulk up so he could protect himself.
Yes.
So, right. And it's the ebbs and flows of a career, man. So I never thought he was going to look like that forever.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you have to understand why, right? You have to understand why he looked that way. For example, sometimes you come into a position where they want you to play a position. They want you to gain weight. Well, like gaining 15 pounds in the offseason is, you're not going to do it with all weight. And so it might not look like it will when you have that weight 3 years down the road.
People are also like wondering, like, did he get too big? Because I mean, his mobility was like pretty much all the way gone last year.
Like, man, his body physically went through a lot from his senior year at Alabama to throughout his second year in the NFL. Right? Just imagine he had hip surgery, then his ankle, and then like not really being able to do any running or anything. Then he was thrust into action. Then they said he needed to gain some weight to protect himself. Like, your body is going up and down, and he's just trying to find that weight and that look that you want in order to perform. Right? And you're going to hear him say, okay, I was a little too big. I can still be stronger, but still be at the weight I want to be at. And it's just the natural flow of like being a professional athlete.
Well, Tua was asked by some reporters there locally. This is from KHON, and he was asked about the contract talks. And here's what Tua had to say about where things stand with his contract.
It's no secret, you're heading into your 5th year of your contract. How have negotiations been with the Dolphins? I know it's a big ongoing topic.
Yeah, I mean, they've been good. Right now, I'm letting my agent handle that. I'm focused on my family. I'm focused on continuing to better myself, better my craft. And we'll talk more about that when that time comes. But for now, exciting times ahead, that's for sure.
Not if, but when. And exciting times ahead, Leroy.
He is, and I wonder if this is just from his coach and the organization. Everybody's very positive in that building.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to feel good, right? You have to appreciate that. It's not an easy thing to do all the time, to be positive, right? Because, it's hard being a pro and sometimes seeing guys getting paid and you're like, what? In the back of your mind, but still being positive. And Tua has been very, very positive. I think, to be honest with you, I think that's why people mess with him.
Well, this was interesting.
Because he ain't gonna do nothing. He gonna still keep it positive.
It's almost like you did show prep with me, dude, because Jalen Ramsey was talking to ESPN Honolulu, and he was asked about being Tua's teammate. And it seems like old Jalen Ramsey, who flew out to Hawaii. That's maybe a great place to do a camp, but flew out to support his teammate nonetheless, and was asked about what it's like being teammates with Tua, and leaves a little Easter egg here at the end. Here's Jalen Ramsey.
Must be a blessing playing with a guy like Tua, a real good leader and a strong teammate.
Yes, it is 100%. He's much more than that everybody gets to see and everybody gets to experience. Being his teammate, being around him every single day, seeing how he interacts with all of the guys, not just his receivers, not just his running backs, not just his old linemen, but literally the whole team. It's super special, and he's a special dude, and he deserves all the good things that are coming his way.
Wow.
But he,
Really? Wow. I think
Well,
Jalen Ramsey just broke
listen.
news.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the facts about that.
What do you mean?
Whether he believes it or not, it's coming. So you might as well be on board with it.
I think he is on board. Listen,
Yeah,
I don't care how nice Hawaii is. I'm not flying that far if I don't like you.
Let me see. Have I ever gone? No, you're right. You're right. I was thinking if I ever went to a golf tournament or to a charity event, if I didn't like the person, nah. Although I have gone to some events that I wasn't necessarily, enthusiastic about because of where they were and what I could do around the event. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. Well, there you go. We've learned Tua, slim with some new ink. He says exciting times ahead. And Jalen Ramsey says good things coming his way. Very interesting.
Not very interesting. We all know Tua's going to get paid. Why you like? What do you? You're not like all of a sudden breaking news here.
No, he's breaking news. I'm
He's
not breaking
news either. Everybody know Tua gonna get paid.
It's a little something, a little Easter egg.
Is it?
It's kind of like when you go get the chocolate Easter eggs at CVS after the sale is over.
Oh yeah,
you're like, oh, look at this. Did you do that this year?
Let me tell you. No, I didn't. But
I didn't hear you talk about it this year. It was a little odd.
Here's the kicker. A week after Easter, we all know we're still sitting at that table at Publix. Peeps!
Oh. Take a break. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here, streaming with you on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, available for you free, and you get all your 560 WQAM podcasts available there. You can listen to us on demand, and you guys can watch us 560 WQAM on YouTube and Twitch. Appreciate everybody who is involved in our chat, even you, Schmeeth and Schmolnick.
Yep, I'm going back and forth with him. You don't need to worry about that.
Couple things that happened. Yeah, busy Sunday. You
Coach
of course
Cal.
had. Yeah, I was just about to get to that. Coach Cal. First of all, shout out to South Carolina beating Iowa yesterday. Finished their undefeated season.
Hey, I got to tell you,
never lost.
It was a good game, but then you want to talk about and here's why I firmly believe the guy in LA at the LA Times was a moron, because every team that plays Caitlin Clark tries to do one thing. Same thing they try to do with Steph, be physical, right? And when you look at LSU and you look at South Carolina, they got some big girls on that team. And Iowa doesn't.
No.
So it's going to look that way, because that's how you're supposed to play when you play a finesse team. You got to get physical with them. And so for a guy to just, put that analogy on them, when if you watch basketball, this is at any level, if you got a bunch of big boys, you're going to play more physical because you want them to feel the weight. So
look, it was an awesome women's tournament.
Yes.
To have that kind of star power, that kind of run for as long as it went. Had a little controversy there at the end with UConn and Iowa to lead into the national championship. So had everything. Great tournament for the women. The men, I'm not in that tonight. I feel like UConn's going to wax that giant on Purdue by 15. And no, Dan, you got Purdue.
That dude's really good.
I understand, but they beat everybody by a dozen.
Doesn't matter. Remember what Virginia did, losing as the number 1 seed to a 16 seed and then coming back and redeeming themselves the next year. Going to play out the exact same way.
I got to tell you though, that UConn team, and it's weird. Like, they are the quickest to get back to the top after losing their guy, losing their coach, right?
Oh yeah, they've had Calhoun, Kevin Ollie, and now
right. That's crazy.
I'll tell you what, it looks like you bet UK is going to come calling to this dude.
No,
really?
Why would he leave? Like, he already got
money, baby. That's
I get it, but guess what?
Did you realize Arkansas could lure John Calipari because it's Arkansas?
Wait, you know who's an alumnus of Arkansas, right? Jerry Jones.
Oh yeah, that's right. Is he care about basketball?
Did you know one of the biggest contributors to the University of Arkansas is the Walton family? They own something called Walmart.
No, I didn't know that actually.
Yes. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? These schools got money, man. Arkansas? Yes. Wait. Hey, so listen.
You would agree though, like like you would say,
Arkansas is not the job.
I think big money in SEC. I think like LSU, Tennessee, Alabama,
LSU.
I don't think
on the bottom. LSU's in the middle. Yeah, they're not even big time.
When you go shopping at Dillard's, in the mall, Arkansas.
What?
Yes.
Dillard's is based in Arkansas?
It started there, yes.
How about that? I had no idea. I was very ignorant to Arkansas's
But here's the deal.
I just
Here's
think
the deal. Here's why. I want to tell you why. Here's what I hope Kentucky fans and the university get what they get. Okay? Because somebody go out there and send me some names. Who's going to be a better coach than Cal? You see what I'm saying?
Kentucky? I don't know.
Right, but that's my point. You're willing to risk all of that to go and be nothing for however many years.
Oh, they'll get somebody though, dude. Like that program. They're gonna get somebody.
Okay.
Come on.
And that's the thinking right there.
Their fan base is rabid. That's a
crazy. They have all the fan base in the world. Guess what? There's a lot of coaches don't want to sign up for that.
There'll be somebody who does.
Yeah, Shaka Smart came to mind right away.
Who?
Shaka Smart.
Yeah.
I saw that. I got sent odds on it, and I saw that Richard Pitino was the favorite, and I was like, "There's no way the Pitino family is going to go back there.
No.
There's no way. You went to Louisville. You're dead to me."
But again, you see what I'm saying? It's not here in college football or basketball. It's not just whether the job is worth taking. It's whether you can go there and do your job and not have to deal with that school and having that job at that school. Right? See, listen, Coach Cal gonna go to Arkansas and they're gonna love him forever because he's Coach Cal and they can't get nobody like that.
Not if he doesn't win though. They're not gonna like that.
But it's Arkansas.
Who cares, dude?
It's
FIU is
Arkansas.
Isaiah Thomas.
Hey, wait. I got one better for you in football.
Hmm?
Texas A&M.
They got some money.
Yeah, but guess what? You see who they got there? Jimbo.
Oh yeah, and they said we'll pay you $70 million.
Right. But then now you're gonna play that game. You Texas A&M.
I'm gonna have to go to my Kentucky source, which is my uncle, who of course told me from the start Bam Adebayo was going to be amazing for the Heat.
So he got his one thing. So now he's
dude. People don't remember. People freaked out about the Heat drafting Bam. What are we getting this guy for? We already have Hassan Whiteside. He was like, this guy's gonna be amazing. Most athletic guy I've ever seen at Kentucky. Nailed it. So, but I'm just saying, like, we do this a lot. Like, look, the best situation that I can think of where this happened, where everybody got what they wanted, was when Andy Reid left Philadelphia. They got their championship, and Andy Reid went on to do Andy Reid stuff, right? But it normally doesn't work like that. It normally doesn't work where you leave a coach that's had some success and has been knocking on the door, and you move on to him, and you still get a championship. Calipari has been to 7 Elite Eights, 4 Final Fours, won the 2012 national title, hasn't reached the second round since 2019. Fan base is going to get a little antsy.
Yeah, okay.
They're going to get antsy.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but you do what you want to do, right? Fans and organizations, if you think you need to move on, you move on. But I'm also saying this. Look how hard it is for us to try to figure out somebody that has the coaching pedigree and has the ability to coach like he does to replace that guy.
Shmee says, maybe your uncle should have told you about Maxey. He did.
Wait, who do we pick instead?
Precious.
Oh my goodness! We could have Maxey.
Oh yeah, one pick ahead. One.
But you know what? You know what it was? That's the stretch in time where everybody started going crazy for wings, right? That like right around that time to now. If you're a wing player, everybody goes crazy for you.
Gone though, like you go Kentucky. Like it was Bam.
Could you imagine Maxey and Herro and Bam on the court? Wait.
Yep.
52.
I know.
52. Wait, dude. Wait. He's averaging what? 27?
He's killing it.
He is killing. And you know what? He is. I think he's the turbo boost of Scary Terry, right? They do the same things. He just does it at like turbo boost.
He's very very fast. He's very fast, and now he's a really, really great shooter. Very impressive. He killed us.
He ain't scored every night I turn on TV. There's two guys that I would have never like. Maxey, yeah, I could see his energy and his speed, and I could see it. But Brunson, like when everybody was, in the trade for Brunson, like the Heat were like, we weren't even
No, I mean, he got that deal from the Knicks. I mean, there were a lot of ties to him in the Knicks with his dad and things like that.
Right.
But the crazy thing is the Mavericks just lowballing him all those years.
Right.
That was the wild thing.
Well, because I mean, you have to understand. Look what they had, and look, you know what I mean. So sometimes you don't get paid not because of your value, but because if we already have one of you, or and you're always going to be the second fiddle to that guy, then why would we pay you the same amount we paying the guy we think is the guy?
We'll take a break. Leroy will hand out his game balls and game bums next. Oh, let's gather around the locker room, ladies and gentlemen. We had ourselves a busy weekend, and that means that Leroy Horde has to hand out his game balls and his game bums. Leroy, what do you got for us, dude?
All right, so my game ball is going to go to women, right? It's going to go to the whole women's NCAA tournament. It was phenomenal. More people watched that.
Big ratings.
By the way, the men's final is tonight, in case you're all wondering, because I forgot.
And I don't think I'm that interested in it.
Right. And it goes to a young lady named Lottie Wode. She is from England. And she played in the Augusta Women's Open this past weekend. She birdied the 3 of the last 4 holes to win by 1 shot. It was amazing to watch because you only hear about the men doing stuff like this, and it was amazing to watch. I just happened to have the TV on. I'm like, let's see what the women are doing at Augusta, see how different they play it. And it was amazing. So kudos to her. My game bum, I hate to do this.
Do what you gotta do.
Because they really take care of us.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the Marlins. Bad game ops. Bad game ops.
Bad game ops.
You can't do it right after they win their first game.
If you don't know what Leroy's referring to, it was reported by Bob Nightengale and then confirmed by Craig Mish that the Marlins have voided the team option on Skip Schumaker's contract following this year.
A week into the season.
A week into the season where they started 0-9 and they get their first win yesterday, and everybody's just like, yeah, but you guys are really dumping Skip Schumaker with this deck that you dealt him, this hand that you dealt him.
Here's what I can never understand. This is for fans, and I'm going to blame the fans less because the organizations do it themselves, right? They give managers, coaches in any sport a crap hand and then say we're firing them because we didn't think it was going to be this bad, right? Like you lose 3/5 of your pitchers, right? You got the other half returning from injury. You got a guy who throws 100 miles an hour throwing 85 mile an hour meatballs because he's trying to warm up and somebody hit one 400 feet. And your solution to this is, let's not renew the manager.
Yeah, there's a couple theories to this. One of them I saw from our boy Peter Pratt, who I love his accent.
Come on. You got to get Peter Pratt on.
We'll get him on. But he is, if you guys don't know, Locked On Marlins. He's a Marlins fan and podcast host from England. And he was saying his theory for it was that they came to Skip before the season, told him, hey, we're going to nuke this thing because, you know, we don't have a very good farm system. We don't have anybody of real consequence.
Why did he do this every time they switch management?
I don't know, because they think everybody's going to turn it around like the Orioles or the Astros or the Rays, and I've yet to see the Marlins only do it half-assed. I haven't seen the Marlins have a good hitting prospect that they've drafted in since Christian Yelich.
Right.
You know, like it's been a long time since the Marlins have been able to draft anybody and put
they
together.
They always load up on pitching, right?
They load up on pitching. And they've had some really great pitching prospects and have made some great trades. I mean, trading for Sandy was a fantastic move on their part, and the Marcell Ozuna trade, the JT Realmuto trade, obviously didn't work out great because you had Jorge Alfaro, who sucked, and Sixto Sanchez, whose arm didn't work. And then you didn't get anything for Christian Yelich. It's not quite Miguel Cabrera ineptitude on the return, but it was close. And, you know, and obviously you weren't going to get anything for Stanton because he makes $1 gazillion. So of all those blue chip players that they could have traded, you got Sandman. And that's basically it. You traded Zach Gallen, who's one of the best pitchers in the league, and got Jazz, who, you know, is a nice player. He's been a good player. I mean, I think his potential is still very much there, but he has not lived up, I think, to expectations.
Yeah, he hasn't played enough. Only because he hasn't played enough.
Part of it has to do with health. I agree.
Okay.
But they haven't drafted anybody. Like they haven't been able to make their own talent of especially position players in a long ass time, and certainly not since the sale, since Bruce Sherman has taken over his ownership. So maybe Peter Bendix is going to do that. I mean, look, the Rays are as good an organization for running things on the cheap. That's the hope. But I heard this crap last time with the ad. So excuse my skepticism with Bruce Sherman having his vision, because I heard this bull crap with Derek Jeter and Project Wolverine, and we're going to be the new Astros. Just let us tank for a few years. And yeah, okay, they've thrown some playoff years in it, but they weren't really winning anything. Like, the Astros are a perennial contender.
Can I say
the Orioles are winning 100 games. The Rays are peaking with 100 games. You're not squeaking in. You're not squeaking in on a mouse fart into the playoffs.
Here's the difference between those organizations and what they're saying here is that when the Astros, when the Orioles got that talent, they paid that talent. Okay? Every time the Marlins get that talent, when it gets time to pay the bill, they re-up and try to start all over again. So you're in a constant process of trying to get young players to perform at a playoff level, when at some point you got to bring the young talent in, you got to develop them, and you got to let them play their careers here and pay them. And that's what those other teams are doing.
To some degree, I mean, like the Astros did let Correa go. Like, they didn't.
Yeah, but look who they had replace him.
They've had, you know, they've
look who they had replace Correa.
They've built their foundation, and
right.
It's great. But like, okay, the Astros blowing it up was how long ago? And I'm still being told,
7 years?
That's coming for the Marlins. It's
7 years? 7 years ago?
And not once did the Marlins try and cheat. Not once. Did once we try and cheat? Did once we try and put buzzers on nipples?
No,
you know why? Trash cans?
You know why? It's too expensive to cheat.
I guess so. But then,
but yeah, the Orioles did it. The Orioles were the last. But when they got their guys, they paid them.
It's very frustrating, and it's frustrating because Skip Schumaker is basically, you know, they're kind of doing to him what they did to Miguel Rojas, where it's like, hey, you have to be the face of this franchise and answer for all of this stuff. We're going to hide behind it. Bruce Sherman, you talk once a year, and then you sit in your stupid press, your stupid little seat next to Bubba Watson. I never get to see Judge Judy at the games. And then Peter Bendix, it's like, I don't know how often he's going. He seems like a nice guy. I'm not saying that he's not going to do a good job.
Judge Judy.
That's his cousin.
Oh, okay.
He seems like a nice guy. I don't really know. I don't know Peter Bendix. I don't know. But, you know, same thing happened when it was Jeets here with Gary Denbo, and then they kind of thought they were going to let Kim Ang do her thing, and then as soon as she did a good job, they're like, hey, take a hike, Kim. See ya. So you'll excuse me if I look at this organization and say, this is a little bit unsettling, like how you got, because like at least with Loria, when Loria was here, I knew who to be mad at. It's like Samson, Loria, Bindfest, they were all ass clowns, all of them. But at least they were my ass clowns, and I got to be mad at them. With these guys, it's like, hey, there's new people here every single year. We're kind of like in this rudderless ship, and it's going nowhere.
You want to know what the cycle of the Marlins is? Here it goes. You bring in new management. You tell us we're going to revamp our farm system. We're going to work it up from the ground, right? Then some of those farm guys end up working their way to the big leagues. You make a couple of moves. Now you got these stars that you developed through your minor league or traded for through somebody else's minor league. They get to the bigs, they end up performing, and then you go, oh crap, I can't afford them. Let's fire everybody and start the process over again.
Yeah, or they don't end up performing.
No, but every time it's got the problem with, remember Jeter? He wanted to give somebody money. Maybe it was the wrong guy, but he wanted to pay somebody. They said no, right? Now we get to Kim Ang. Like the farm system was something people were starting to come through it, and they start over again.
I thought Jeter was here always as a phony ruse. I never bought into Jeter. You know, I never bought into Jeter.
I know.
And
I'm just saying it's still playing out the same way.
But the thing that I think is more annoying about it is like, you would have hoped that, okay, you're going to blow this thing up and you're going to start building it up and having some guys coming up. There's nobody in that farm system. This has been the case now for 7 years.
Right.
Since Loria and Sampson,
with all the guys you traded, you're supposed to have
you traded your stars, and what are you here with? Sandman with a busted arm. That's it. And Jazz to give you 70 games a year.
Right.
You know, it's wholly frustrating. And to then get this awful start where you do something that hasn't happened since 2016 and 0-9 start. You get your first win of the year, and you find out, hey, Skip Schumaker, he ain't coming back next year. It's garbage.
One of the pleasant people to talk to in that building.
Yeah, it's tough to have faith. It's tough to remain optimistic. I understand it's only April. Maybe things will turn around. But man, if you want to talk about the most deflating start to a season and the organization that could afford that the least, it's the Miami Marlins.
Yes.
Every year it feels like we're climbing out of this crypt keeper dead April where you have no hope, and then they go do this right into the middle. I tell you what, if the Panthers and Heat go on a playoff run, that's when the Marlins will play their best, and then when those runs are over, that's when they'll play their worst again. But it really just feels like hopeless. It feels hopeless right now
because you can't even look at any up and comers, and the only way, and here's what sucks, the only way to fix it is to get rid of all the people that we do know and start over again.
Yeah, and it's like, I saw, Barry Jackson, who I think is great, but he writes this column about, blowing it up for the Marlins. And I'm like, blow it up? Like, who are you trading? Like, you're going to trade Yuri Perez, who's 19 and having Tommy John surgery? Like, who does anybody want on this roster? Sandman's coming off of a Tommy John. Jazz, okay, Jazz is not a star. He's not. He's nice. He's got talent. But who's giving you the farm for Jazz Chisholm? Nobody, dude. So just pray tell, who on this Marlins team is the guy you trade? Who is your Christian Yelich or your JT Realmuto or your Miguel Cabrera? All trades they blew, by the way. And who are these guys who are these guys you trade that are going to start the process over again? So anyway, great game, Bum Leroy.
Wait. It's supposed to take 2 minutes. You went off for 15 minutes. It's like it was a reverse game bum. I
apologize.
I'm just frustrated. You know what I mean? Like the thing, like you never hear from the organization. Like you hear the coach or the manager say, look, it's frustrating. We got to be patient. There's a couple of things we got to work through and blah, blah, blah. Keeping it real positive, right? Skip, keeping it real positive. But then, in the other hand, the organization's like, nah. No. So I don't know if this was a predetermined thing and it had nothing to do with Skip, and it maybe had to do with Peter, who wanted his guy in there, right? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm
bad
tired of
timing.
Who's got, like, if you are the most diehard, and there's so, there's a handful of these diehard Marlins fans who are dying for this organization to be great. These are, dude, I still get the goose. I see Juan Pierre at an opening. I get the gooses. These guys mean something to me. That team was special to my childhood. I love this franchise, and they just give the real fans of it all just a bag of garbage because they're like, no, this is what you have to believe in now. No, you believe in this. No. It's like, hey, it's time to start giving these people some substance. Every time you're doing a shell game of who to blame.
Right.
Yeah, and you had all the good momentum, too. You go to the playoffs last year. You seem like you have some things going. You had the World Baseball Classic, the Serie del Caribe, big crowds. Now you have the all-you-can-eat seats. You can bring flags, and you can bring horns and drums in the stadium. You think this is going to be a good year, and then 0-9.
Yeah.
And we're getting rid of the manager, by the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Take a quick break. Team that will give you some hope, even though they're not playing up to snuff right now. The Florida Panthers. Cat Talk. That's next. Welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. We're streaming live, YouTube and Twitch. You guys can join the chat there. Get your comments in. Call us at 305-567-0560. We have a phone line that still works, too, if you guys ever want to peruse that. I'm all for it. Leroy, can you get a weather update from the Demesman and Dover law firm? Your accidentattorneys.com. Free consultation 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE. We got an eclipse on the horizon.
I got to be careful because, you know, we got the roofers here today.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So
Heading over to the Windowplex.
going over to the Windowplex. Felt good to be out in the open and be able to do a real wind check.
Oh, that was a weather report for the ages, dude.
Had to walk off the distance that the grass traveled to get a good idea of how strong the wind was blowing. I'll teach y'all about that later. Right now, it's out by me. It's mostly cloudy. You got the sun poking through some holes a little bit. We have the winds at about 10 to 15 miles out of the southeast. And I say the temperature is probably right around 80 degrees. Still been relatively cool, but I'm guessing now that it's coming out of the southeast, it'll warm up a little bit.
Well, he's a golfer, ladies and gentlemen. You can trust Leroy's word. He's got this weather thing down. I don't know how he does it, but he seems to do it. Get to our cat talk here, brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers. Dan Day. You know what that is? That flavor right there? That is anti-intangible flavor.
That's the anti-TJ McConnell.
Yep.
I was gonna say, it looks like you're gonna lose your foot, man, if you drink too much of that.
No sugar.
Oh.
The Cats lose this weekend. They fell to the Bruins in overtime, 3-2. So still searching for some things. Not many games left for your Cats as this season and this regular season is winding down. Feels very much like the Cats, their health situation. They are ready to get to the playoffs. They are ready to just have this thing be over. They end now with 4 home games. They have Ottawa tomorrow night, Columbus on Thursday, Saturday at 5 against Buffalo, and then they finish things off next Tuesday against Toronto. So those are the last 4.
Interesting note, we're 5 points up on Toronto, but Toronto has 2 games in hand on us. That last game for us, because Toronto will play Tampa Bay another day after us, but that could be somewhat of an interesting sticky wicket at the end of the season for us if we don't play our cards right.
We will have to keep an eye on
it. What?
Sticky wickets.
Sticky wicket.
Huh.
Problem?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with your verbiage there. So I thought that was something like.
Well, look, I think to be on a good side of things, the next 3 opponents stink. So maybe the Cats can get themselves right for that Toronto matchup. They've been beating the brakes off of Ottawa the last time. That was like really they won 6-0. And you know, look, Brady Tkachuk's going to start some shenanigans. That's undeniable. You know that's going to happen. But you get yourself a little right for that big Toronto matchup, and then we'll see what's what as we head into this playoff series. But let's hear from Paul Maurice after the OT loss to the Bruins.
Intensity, not a lot of spacing, but the guys were
Yeah.
getting 100%.
Especially in the third, I thought, you know, when they made it 2-1, they had a handful of minutes there after they were on us a little bit. But I like the way, you know, with what we've kind of had over the last 10 games, I like the way we played. I like the night we got better in the third period when we had nothing in the tank to do that. They pushed through it. So I was happy with the effort. Disappointed in the result, but really happy with the effort.
There's going to be a lot more games like that later this month.
Yeah.
Is that a confidence builder even though you didn't get the end result?
Yeah, I don't think we're lacking confidence. You know, I think we have a pretty good idea. I thought last game and this game, believe it or not, looked very similar. It's just you're playing a different team and they have a different style, and you're not going to get as much offense. And then I thought we did a really good job with our focus there with all the penalties. It was a challenge for us for sure, and I thought they did a good job staying focused.
On the penalties, that's when you expect to clear up come the playoff time.
No, I mean, no, we're not fixing it because we're not fixing it. Like, we're going to do everything we can. We stay out of the box, but it's not going to happen. So the other team's not going into the box, so we can't kill penalties as hard as we can and try to score some goals.
There you
Hey,
go.
you know what? I love the way, because that Boston game, it seemed like the whole game was played 5-on-4.
Yep.
Right? And he's like, no, we're not changing that. We're not changing that. We just got to be better at penalty kills. Like, I like that. Like, he wants his team to play physical and aggressive. You can't go in there now at this point with what you've tried to get your team to do for the last year and a half and say, hey, go in there a little softer so we don't get any penalties. No.
They then that's been their style of being uncomfortable for everybody else and playing a style that everybody hates playing against them. So, they'll try and bounce back tomorrow night with their last 4 of the regular season. Heat also, with their last 4 of the regular season, they have the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow as Miami now finds themselves in 8th.
That Atlanta game is the final away game of the season.
Yes.
Because you get Dallas on Wednesday and then back-to-back, not back-to-back, but 2 games to end the season.
The Raptors.
Right, Friday and Sunday.
Yep. Friday and Sunday against a Raptors team that's actively trying to lose. They want to keep their pick. So
now how does it work in hockey? The worst team gets the first pick?
I think they have a lottery, I think. I don't really know. I'm not gonna ask Leroy. I have no idea.
I know. I'm just saying. I don't like claim to know. That's why I ask you. I like, and maybe that we went outside both of our comfort zones.
Yeah, we got a lottery.
Yeah. I feel like everybody does a lot, except for the NFL.
Yeah, well, because you don't play as many games, right? And clearly the worst team should get it. But the way things are working now, like Chicago hit the mother load with a quarterback that you don't even know if it's any good.
I don't know, but I tell you one thing.
They picked the wrong guy. Would you, if you had to do it over again, would you take CJ Stroud over Bryce Young?
I mean, yeah, obviously.
No, I'm just saying. Like they traded the farm to get the number 1 pick and picked the wrong guy.
I did like a spicy draft. I love a spicy draft take. There was this great spicy draft take yesterday from Merrill Hodge. You remember Merrill Hodge?
Yes.
Did you play with Merrill Hodge?
I played against Merrill Hodge. Yeah.
Played against Merrill Hodge?
Yeah, he was a fullback for the Steelers.
He was
he had the same problem as he had neck problems.
No, but he was very prominent in the broadcasting.
He was very
prominent.
prominent. He was very prominent in the broadcasting field. I don't know what led to his ousting from ESPN. Sometimes they just go with flashier names, so I don't know. I don't remember, but I do know that Merrill Hodge is
considered one of the OGs.
He's considered one of the OGs, and he has been pretty spot on with a lot of his quarterback analysis. Like, he was one of the guys who like immediately wrote off Johnny Manziel, nailed it. He's like, no shot this is gonna work. And then he's had some right ones. So people have kind of taken his quarterback opinions seriously lately when it's come to the draft. And he had a spicy take on Drake May. And this was his quote. Drake May is the kind of player that's going to get you fired, especially if you draft him in the top 5 or the top 3. He's going to get you fired. Now, he has not been high on a lot of guys. He wasn't high on Caleb Williams either, but he is dismissed Drake May as being any kind of good.
Can I just say this though? And people blame teams for drafting certain players, right? But all of these teams have the same basic grade for these players, right? And the thing is no matter who's picking 3rd, if they needed a quarterback, next up is going to be Drake May. It doesn't mean that you're picking the best that's available at that moment. To go around 5 years later and say, oh, you should have picked a different guy. Not when everybody who rated these quarterbacks had Drake May rated higher than the other guy.
Drake May,
it's all revisionist history.
He says he's erratic like Malik Willis. Says Willis might be the only guy I could think of. Malik Willis, remember he was taken second, 3rd round.
Played for Liberty
by the Titans.
Yeah.
It says Willis might be
the second or 3rd round. That's different than 5th pick.
Well, that's why he's saying he says Willis might be the only guy I can think of that is as erratic as Drake May. I studied him for 2 years. I watched every one of his games last year. His last game against NC State was probably the most embarrassing display I've seen from a guy who's supposed to be an elite franchise quarterback. He's erratic. He's everywhere. All right, there you go.
I mean,
Merrill Hodge, not in on him.
I'd be curious to think. Let me see. What do you say about Josh Allen? Because there's a lot of that.
I don't know.
Josh Allen also.
I'm sure I can
right?
find it somewhere.
You know what I mean? But there's a lot of those similar comments that people were saying about Josh Allen. But keep in mind, Josh Allen was 10th. He wasn't top 5.
He also, Merrill Hodge went recently, this was back in February when he was saying he was doing his review of Caleb Williams. He said, I've only watched Caleb Williams 3 games last year, 3 this year, so I'm only halfway done with my research. The one thing is clear, he is not special. He is not something unique like Patrick Mahomes, and I hope the Bears don't think, let's try and make up for our one mistake when we passed up Patrick Mahomes to go get Patrick Mahomes. This kid is not Patrick Mahomes. He's not even remotely close to that.
It's unfair to say that, right? Because there's only one Patrick Mahomes,
right?
But that's the bar, right?
But you know, like this is the thing too. Like, I mean, I know that there's been not a lot of Dolphin fans, but there's been some who are even like, oh, just go take one at 21 and go. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
it's not that easy, man. It's hard. Here, there's a number of traits that you know for a fact can translate from college to the NFL. And that one trait is accuracy, right? Like there's a lot of quarterbacks that have arm strength, okay? But most of these quarterbacks that come into the league, there's only a select few you can say they are accurate, okay? You can deal with that versus a guy with a strong arm. It doesn't mean anything. When somebody says, the worst thing I want to hear from somebody who's evaluating the quarterback, he can make all the throws. Who gives a rat's ass? It's when you make the throws, not that you can make the throws, okay? Is it time for a touch pass? Is it time to rifle it in? Are you even looking in the right direction? Who cares if you have a cannon for an arm if you're not making good decisions? So these guys who evaluate quarterbacks, I always listen to, he's extremely accurate. What they say about Caleb Williams, right? He can make a lot of throws from different levels, right? Kind of very Patrick Mahomesy. He can do all these things. But I haven't heard how accurate is he with those throws, because the GOAT, the guy that you say he's like, is very accurate throwing it any kind of way. And the only other guy that I've seen that way is Aaron Rodgers. So you got Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. Everybody else has to be statue quarterback guy, throw a certain way. Is that not accurate? Anybody else know anybody making crazy throws? Maybe Josh Allen, but he throw it to the other team. So he's not very accurate.
Well, there you go. We are in draft season, and it is a time where everybody's got takes on things. So it'll be interesting because it does seem like a lot of quarterbacks are going in this first round, and I don't know how many of them are going to be good. That's the big mystery of it, because Stroud was awesome last year. Bryce Young, look, he seems like he's in an impossible position. But he also, like, that was very uninspiring that first season for sure.
I mean, was it the team or was it him, though? Let's be clear.
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Exactly. I agree. A little from both.
I got you.
All right, we'll take a quick break here. Those are our headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy a truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
We got to get back into the heat. Unfortunate loss yesterday. We'll dive back into this terrible choke job yesterday.
Was it a choke job?
Out of the gate it was, dude. Sometimes you could choke at the start of the meal.
It was more of a thud job, I thought. But,
You never got a chance to choke on dessert?
Yeah, exactly. Take a break. Back after this. All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. 15 minutes of heat here for you as the Miami Heat lose 117-115 to the Indiana Pacers yesterday. Very frustrating loss. Almost had it. Lane violation. I hate lane violation.
Lane
You think
violation.
you're cute? You think you're cute, officials? Oh, your toe. Your toe was past the line where the ball was. Sorry. I got to intentionally miss because you guys decided to give what's his face, old Miles Turner, a bunch of free throws for getting the ball swatted out of his hands. I'll never figure that out. Scott Foster. But Leroy's right. I mean, he had some killer times in the in that series. The ones that were the crushers, the Heat got it to within, I think they got it to like within 4. I think 2 was the closest they got it to. But Siakam getting the and 1 to put him up 7, and then Neesmith getting the and 1 to put him back up 8. I was like, come on, dude.
They got within the last 4 minutes of the game, they probably got 3 or 4 and 1s, which is crazy.
Yeah, those were the killers. Then Tyler Herro, he had a big onions 3.
Oh yeah.
Then he was fouled on a 3. So brought it to within 2. The Heat, they go full court press. They get Carlisle to call the timeout. They look like they got the turnover. But here's the thing. They couldn't review it because Spo had blown the challenge, which, by the way, he holds on to his challenges like a squirrel holds on to his nuts. So I was surprised that Spo used that challenge on Jimmy Butler earlier in the quarter, but he did, and he didn't have it to review that. So that was tough. And so the Heat, they got this. Then Tyler goes and hits a sick 3 on one leg.
Sick.
Yeah, to get it to within 1. But alas, they were not able to pull this one out. And it's unfortunate. Look, Tyler had a great fourth quarter. He has looked like he hasn't missed a beat offensively for sure. Carved up by TJ McConnell. I mean, that
Carved
was
up. Carved up?
Yeah. What would you say?
Flambéed, sauteed.
Hibachi?
Hibachi. They tossing the shrimp tail at his ass.
TJ McConnell put that onion volcano on Tyler Herro.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, really? I mean, and guess what? I'm more than sure on the Heat sideline, they go, let's let him guard McCollum. How bad could it be?
How could it be? You got all these options out there. Like McConnell's not going to do anything. Intangibles.
Wrong.
Killed the Heat. Killed them. It's tough. Do you have can you again play this, Dan? We played this in the first hour of the show, but I just want people to realize I don't know who this Jimmy Butler is, but Jimmy Butler was like, oh yeah, we got to maintain a positive vibes, positive attitude. Got to keep things light. We play basketball for a living. And I'm like, huh?
Man, winning out or not, you just always got to keep that same energy. You always got to smile. You always got to realize that it's never as bad as it always seems. And we get to hoop for a living, man. Everybody should be smiling. Everybody should be having fun. And everybody should be enjoying not only playing basketball, but being around one another. Whenever you realize that basketball is a game, no matter if you put food on the table or how important it is to you, you just got to have fun and you got to smile, man. So as long as we do that, I know that the wins will come.
What? Who is that guy? It's like Pedro Serrano when he returns from Major League 2. What?
That was a very good pitch.
TJ. Hey, that was good, TJ. That was good. What are you doing, Jimmy? What happened to the guy who used to tell TJ Warren he was trash? What happened? Where's the Jimmy Butler who told Drew Holiday, I own you? Did you enjoy basketball? He was like, what's going to happen this year in the playoffs when you take on Drew Holiday against the Celtics? Hey, Drew, that was just different me, different me, different times. I've grown.
Tobias Harris over me.
Tobias Harris. This is the
that
pettiest mother bleeper who comes to kill on the court. We just gotta have a good time. Is he trolling? Like, what's going on here?
I don't know, but they've been saying this for 2 months, right? Same kind of laissez-faire attitude. We'll get it going. Don't worry. I have confidence in my guys. And I'm not questioning any of that. I'm really not. But when is there going to be a sense of urgency with everybody involved?
Oh, if I hear that term one more time from these guys,
what
sense of urgency? If I hear sense of urgency, sense of urgency, Leroy, you have a sense of urgency against the Sixers? Hey, we could bury the Sixers. We could take every tiebreak. We could put them 3 games behind us. Sense of urgency? Nah. No sense of urgency there. Was there a sense of urgency last night? We could put a bow on the 6th seed. Any sense of it? Why don't we let them score 38 in the first quarter?
Yeah.
Sense of urgency. The only person feeling a sense of urgency is me. That's it. I'm the only one who feels a sense of urgency right
you
now.
can't score no buckets.
No, I can just gas bag. That's it. And then I feel froggy after a win over the Rockets. It's my curse.
No, that means you just overdo it. That's all.
Leroy, when Tyler came in and he lit it up against the Rockets, was it the best 17 points ever? I was like, no one's stopping us. We got Tyler. And he was like, I'm going to be the 6-man role now. I'm going to come off the bench. I was like, Ty, what? He is?
I was breaking down the score like Terry Rozier is going to give us a bunch of points. Tyler, Jimmy's going to be playoff Jimmy. Bam, Caleb Martin. Oh my goodness.
But no, we just got to get along. It's as long as we're smiling, we'll be okay. That's what Jimmy's saying. Who is this guy? And no, RVA Richie, I'm not calling him soft. I would never say that about Jimmy Butler. All right. I love Jimmy Butler. I'm not like the ingrates out here who are like, I'm ready to be rats off a ship on the Jimmy Butler era. This Jimmy Butler era has been nothing but fun. Nothing but fun. He has been nothing but great. It has been a lot of stressful, regular seasons. Do not get me wrong. But it has been marvelous success since he has been on the Miami Heat. But that's not him. What happened to double middle fingers? What happened to the guy who was like, he always loves to cause angst to his opponents, Leroy?
Here's the deal, though. Like, regardless of what you think of Jimmy and the Heat or whatever, it has to be extremely frustrating playing this game every year.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right? No, I'm talking about no. I'm talking about for us.
Oh,
I'm not talking about for him. He having fun. He's enjoying it. He's smiling.
I agree.
It's exhausting every year hearing this. Like, for example, me and you go at it every year the same time of year. December into New Year's, me and you are going at it. Don't worry about it. After 41 games, Jimmy's going to crank it up. Then January comes, and you're like, here we go.
Well, now we're that time.
Now we're getting close to the playoffs. Nobody's worried. I'm worried because I haven't seen this team play consistent good basketball in a long time. And in order to win a series, you got to play consistent basketball for at least 7 games. In the most 7 games in a series. I haven't seen it. So I'm not saying this team can't win. I'm a firm believer they can beat anybody, but they can lose to anybody, which is the definition of inconsistent. But all that being said, if you do this year after year after year, it's going to bite you in the ass. And then everybody's going to act shocked. Well, last year they did this. Well, 2 years ago they did this. No, this was always in play based on how they've done things. And this year it bit them in the ass. I don't know if that's going to be this year. But I'm telling you, when this goes sideways, this is what we're going to hear.
I mean, they have the same winning percentage that they did the year they got swept by the Bucks, because that was a 72-game season. So about that level. And
Right.
it colossally failed, and Bryn Forbes ended us.
Right.
This year, I mean, they could pass them. I mean, if they win tomorrow, they've equaled last year's wins. So they could pass last year's wins by a handful of games. And yet I feel like I like this roster better. The only thing I'm a little questioning on, I'm not doubting it because I would never do that, Jimmy. I would never do that, Jimmy. But some have to wonder, is old FT catching up?
I mean, there have been a few games this recent history where the lift has not been there.
And these damn referees.
That fadeaway jumper, it looks more like a fadeaway fallback.
The jump shot does not look good.
He's got no lift.
The jump shot does not look good.
Okay, so that being said, and here's what I would say. And I say this just being a voice of reality, right? No, I do. That this team goes as Bam goes, not as Jimmy goes. Because
I didn't think he played that great yesterday.
He didn't, but I'm just saying.
No, I know you are. I'm just letting you know.
What you're asking of Bam and what you're asking of Jimmy, right? You're asking so much more Bam than you are of Jimmy. So I would say that the team goes as Bam goes and not as Jimmy, because you don't ask Jimmy to do as much as you ask Bam to do. That's the only reason why, right?
I like Bam taking 4 threes yesterday. Almost
How many
my
made?
magic number. 1.
Okay, that's fine.
Let it fly, baby.
I mean, like, okay,
Stunt
so
Steve says,
he makes another one. It's a great shooting.
Stunt Steve says, wow, you're off the Jim VP train. What happened to you, Brendan?
Basketball happened, Stevie.
Wow.
Steven,
First of all,
basketball happened.
I don't like how he's first naming me. First off. Second off, I'm not off any train. I'm not off a train, but I don't know who that person is who's speaking. Who is this guy?
Listen,
Smiling will be all right.
As your friend,
Yeah.
I always say to you, don't go too deep into it because you're going to hurt more than anybody else.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I always tell you that.
I always feel like look, whatever happens.
Leroy, come on, Leroy, do it with me. I'm like, no, because you're going to need a shoulder to cry on, and I can't be there if I'm yelling MVP too.
I know how this is going to end. I know
How's
how
it gonna end?
It's going to end one of two ways, okay? It either ends with the Celtics embarrassing us in devastating fashion in probably the biggest margin of victory since the 2021 first round series against the Bucks, or it ends with Heat and 5 and the Celtics are shocked, and then everybody's like, oh no, they did it again, and now there's nobody in the East who could stop us. There's only two ways, and I'm going to stay till the end.
And I'm just saying to you, that's a terrible way to be.
It's how I feel alive.
I know, but
it doesn't take much. I
know it doesn't take much, because I got to tell you, if every game, if Bam went down the floor and shot a 3 from the top of the key and made it, you would, it would be we wouldn't be able to talk to you for the rest of the basketball game. But that being said, the reality of who they are, the reality of what you have seen all year tells you what?
I mean, we got Jovic coming together.
See?
Time.
Jovic
looks great.
Tyler Herro hadn't missed a beat.
Tyler Herro looks like he's still got his touch.
You know why I'm not used to this? Because I was a Saints fan from my earlier youth. And Saints fans have the totally opposite approach as what Tobin has, right? The Saints could be 10-0, and they go, some kind of way they gonna blow it. I know it.
Apart. We suck.
That's not how I look at it. As soon as Haywood Highsmith hits 2 threes, I'm like, oh, Maxwell.
Yeah, but here's the deal. You realize, so the first year of the Saints, I want to say was 1969, right? I was 1 year old. They never had a winning season until I was at Michigan.
88.
Good God.
Right. And
years?
And that season, They started off 10-0, which is the reason why Bobby Hebert is loved by everybody in Louisiana, because they deem him most responsible for that winning record when they had a defense you couldn't get an inch on.
How did it finish?
Oh, they lost in the first round of the playoffs.
Dude, so
Terrible.
So keep in mind.
Like the Dolphins.
So me and Dan Day's sports experience of following a team, our favorite team, is so much different than you guys down here, because you are don't worry about it. They'll get back. They do this every year. And we have the totally opposite. How are they going to blow it this year?
Let's talk about their first playoff win ever. They get up on the Rams like 34-7. And everyone's going, uh-oh. And they're like, what? It's a blowout. It's over. The Saints are going to win their first playoff game. Rams came all the way back, and we won 34-31. And the only reason is because they muffed the punt at the end of the game.
Right. Dude, think about that.
I understand.
I get why you feel the way you feel, right? And as a person that has experienced sports as a child, the totally opposite of that, I tend to look at it like, how can you put so much blind faith in that, right? Because when it comes crashing, oh my goodness. So that's our experience to sports. So that's why I'm like, no. Look, you turn over I'm turning over in New Orleans, you turn over every rock of disappointment. Okay, what could go wrong? Okay, turn over the rock. Nope. Okay, let's look here. Let's see, quarterback gets hurt. No. Star running back. No. I'm telling you, that's how you experience Saints football. When they won the Super Bowl, like, dude, I didn't play for the Saints. I almost cried. I was so happy for a team.
Cry?
Huh?
Did you cry?
No.
Maybe a little tear?
Almost. Almost. I had too many damn people at my house to be. They ain't gonna go out like that. But I'm just saying, dude, it was an emotional thing for the whole city of New Orleans, because what we had gone through. Now, it's a different situation. You've had 3 championships. Right. You compete for the Eastern Conference every year. So to make that assumption that, they'll just turn around and do what they have to do, I just come from a different place. And I'm saying, well, how? I don't see it. Like the definition of an average team is a team that could beat anybody and a team that could lose to anybody.
Yeah. But the Heat is a class organization that's done it in the past. That's why Tobin believes.
Yes, and that's why I don't ever tell him he's crazy. But I say, hey,
I don't want to write him off. I don't want to do it.
I'm not saying write him off.
I'd rather be late to the party than be first. I don't need to be the first on that island.
I don't need to be first either.
I don't need to be first on that island. I do believe that this guy is weird. Because I remember what it felt like walking into the building in the play-in game against the Bulls, and everybody was like a bunch of Eeyores around that Heat organization. And I'm not going to name names of the people who are quote unquote Heat lifers. Oh dear, we're gonna. And
no,
then
I'm not that way either.
I know you're not, but I'm not gonna. I will not let go of the rope. I'd rather drown with the anchor than let go with the rope.
Oh no, wait. You are the anchor.
What?
I'm just saying.
What does that mean?
That means if we need the boat to stop moving, we're gonna put your ass on the end of a rope. You ain't gonna be holding on to something else.
Jodo says Strus won that game. Yeah, but we got Nico now, baby. See it yesterday.
Hey, if I had to ask you a question, and here's where I am with this. If I had to ask you a question,
yeah,
and day and day, here's where me and Tobin fight, right? How is this season going to finish out?
Heat in 5.
You only need to win one in the play-in.
Ah, man. You hear that? You know what it's time for. It's time to mix it on up, ladies and gentlemen. The Mixed Bag brought to you by Brown Health. Well into your future. Dan Day stepping in for Frog Boy today. Oh,
Hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
I appreciate the pictures of my guy.
You're welcome. I was trying to keep you updated
Yes.
with all things Teddy Swims.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Morgan Wallen.
No. Teddy Swims. She knew what I was talking about.
By the way, tomorrow I've been handed
He doesn't look as big when you take pictures in person, right?
I mean, I wasn't there. It was on Friday. I just took screenshots of my friend who was there.
Yeah, but he looked like thinner than in the pictures you see of him. Like,
I guess.
Yeah.
He was on stage with Warren Ziders, and that made me very happy.
There's only one person's weight that I want to debate, and that's Tua's. Everybody else can go to hell.
Tua, he's getting his football body. Like, stop making a big deal about it, dude. It's life.
Oh, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
He looks great.
It happens if you paid attention to a lot of athletes. It happens to a lot of guys.
Feel like you're dismissing it?
I am dismissing it.
No, I don't like it.
This is a normal occurrence.
Dan, what do you have today in the mixed bag, my friend?
Well, yesterday's Heat game was disappointing to say the least. It wasn't do or die, though. We're still kind of alive. And the Heat, even though they came out lackluster, had a chance to win towards the end of the game. And then there was a lane violation.
Oof.
Tyler Herro asked after the game, was that a lane violation?
He said I stepped over, I think. I don't think it was a lane violation on me. I don't think it was a line violation at all. But it's a bang bang play at the end, and that's not gonna win or lose us a game. It's a lot of the other stuff in between.
He's right about that. I mean, it wasn't that play, but I do hate that call. You have to intentionally miss there.
I hate a call that, first of all, a lot of these guys that shoot free throws that have like a hitch before they release the ball, the lane is filled anyway before they release the ball. And you don't call that, but then you call something.
They called it on Love. They didn't call it on Herro.
They didn't call it on Herro because, right.
They didn't call it on Tyler, although when they did the replay, I guess the rule is if you're the shooter, you can't leave till it touches the rim. Everybody else can leave when it releases your hand. And it looked like on the replay, if it was going to be on anybody, it was going to be on Tyler. It didn't look like it was on Kevin Love.
Right.
So I don't know, but whatever. Definitely, like you said, not the reason they lost, but still.
And if it's not that definitive, you can't call it.
Yeah, especially at the end of the game.
If we're sitting here trying to figure out who it was on, right? Then it means you probably shouldn't have called it.
Yeah, and at the end of the game, let the players decide. Kind of same thing with that UConn-Iowa women's game, like moving pick at the end. That pretty much ended the game.
It was. She was like a guard, and she pulled and blocked. I mean, it was like it was a little more obvious than the lane violation, right? I mean, it was a block and a pull by the other. Like, yeah, that was. I mean, listen, it had to get. And here's the point I think Dan's making. It had to get to that point of just ridiculousness that you got to call it, right? Even though you want the players to figure out. But if we're sitting here trying to figure who the lane violation was on, you probably shouldn't have called it on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, what else is in the mixed bag today?
Well, I told you I was really excited when Tyler Herro came back and lit it up because I was like, well, Terry Rozier's got it going on the offensive end. That's just more firepower. Since then, Terry Rozier hasn't exactly been the best on offense. In fact, he didn't play in the fourth quarter yesterday. When asked, why didn't you play in the fourth quarter? He said it's all about Spo.
Did you take yourself out of the game, or was it a kind of a joint decision?
It was kind of my regular minutes, but I just didn't go back in the fourth, and it was just coach's decision.
Yeah, he said that apparently what he told reporters, and I don't think they put this on the Heat's YouTube yesterday. He told reporters that he probably shouldn't have played yesterday, that he was in a lot of pain on his neck, and that he apparently had something to do with, like he said, it was something he just slept bad on it or whatever, but he woke up and his neck was really messed up, and he probably shouldn't play because he felt like he was hurting the team. But that had nothing to do with why he didn't play in the fourth quarter. That was just Spo's call. But I think you could see he did not have an effect on that game yesterday, which, yeah, he's been cooking. So that's a little bit out of character.
Like that would have been weird. Like there's no reason unless he was banged up. And keep in mind, they are very private about their injuries. So, but it just seemed weird, right? That of all the people in the last 5 or 6 games that you're thinking we can depend on that dude to make something happen, Terry Rozier was the guy. And in some kind of way, he needed to be out there, right? So he must have been banged up. And I just think that's Spo's, they just saying Spo don't want to say if something's wrong.
Give us one more here, Dan, in the mixed bag here for today.
Mike Tenenbaum always has very interesting takes.
That's one way to put it.
Popular takes here in South Florida sometimes. I don't know.
He was a popular take.
It was a popular take.
He was a popular take.
Popular take off my team. Please.
Yeah. Nice to see him leave. Oh, man. But he says, the Bills, they got rid of their all-pro receiver, Stefon Diggs. Maybe it made him better.
I think it's very plausible. At 28, there's going to be a really good receiver there. Let's call it Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. Maybe you go up a couple spots to get him to make sure nobody else does. And then after June 1st, go get Brandon Ayuk from the 49ers. You're going to get big cap relief from Tre'Davious White's money coming off the cap, sign him to a big extension. Now, all of a sudden, this is a much more diverse passing offense led by Dalton Kincaid, who had 66 less targets last year than Stefon Diggs. Now, all of a sudden, you just don't double Stefon Diggs. And if you come out of this with Brandon Ayuk and Brian Thomas Jr., you're better.
All right.
I would like to say this.
Go ahead.
That's easy to say when you get rid of that dude, right? Everybody that's got, well, the Vikings said when they got rid of Randy Moss, we're going to be better because you're going to spread the ball out more, right? That's the thing that everybody's preaching. But when it comes to crunch time and that dude ain't on your team getting open, then we're going to see how good it is spreading the ball out. Now, not for nothing, I think Ayuk is an excellent wide receiver, right? But has he ever been that guy where they go, I know Ayuk could get open, right? Or has he been just a beneficiary of the offense that they run?
I mean, he's the third guy you think about on that offense.
Right,
Maybe even
exactly.
Exactly.
So let's understand his numbers may have been great, but they weren't great because he was the dude, right? They were great because you had Christian McCaffrey and
Debo and Kittle.
Right. So like that sounds great. I call it who was the receiver that played opposite Michael Irving? Oh, damn it.
Was it Harper?
Harper. Remember Harper got that big money to go to Tampa?
Alvin Harper, yep.
Alvin Harper. And now he's in witness protection because he ain't even know, nobody know where he went, right? Like everybody thinks that other dude was being held back because he was playing with the star. But the star is why you got all them opportunities. So if you go and try to be the star and then get locked up, so be careful.
I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible that the Bills can bounce back from losing Stefon Diggs. The thing that I find fascinating about Stefon Diggs is that he was actively calling out Josh Allen's success being because of him, which has lined up because of him. So I am fascinated to see what that looks like.
Let me ask you a question. If we just look at it at face value, an outsider looking in, not somebody who watches the Bills because they're in our division. When did Josh Allen's success begin?
When he got there, when Diggs got there.
So why wouldn't Diggs think that?
Agreed.
Okay. Until Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills prove otherwise, then guess what? Stefon Diggs is right. Your success came when I got here.
Man. Take a break. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 here on the program. Let's get to our headlines, brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy a truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
You into this eclipse, Leroy? You gonna go check out the eclipse? I got a countdown right now on the Weather Channel. This guy, they've been going live. I don't really understand the point of going to different locations. Isn't going to be eclipsed everywhere?
Didn't we do it outside?
We did do it. Yeah, I remember we did do a show the last time there was an eclipse.
I believe it starts in Texas, right?
5 years ago. What was the last one that they did?
And remember
Rebecca?
Rebecca came to work and we did it outside.
Yeah, we had to like have special glasses for it or something like that.
And it was 4 million degrees.
Yep.
Wasn't it like 2017 though?
Yeah, that was about right. We were still doing the show. I think it was we did it in the back. Remember we did it off the back promotions deck back there.
We've done a lot of stuff off of the back promotions deck.
Sure have. Sure have. Don't look directly into it. I saw one lady though. She was like, she's like, well, if your kid, one of my son's teacher was like, yeah, if you want your kid to experience the eclipse, we're not letting him outside. So you got to pick him up to do it. I'm like, isn't this what learning is for? Like, shouldn't you guys be out there teaching about the environment?
Let me explain something to you, you knucklehead.
What?
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
This has nothing to do
with extra recess.
No. This has nothing to do with but one thing. If somebody stares into the eclipse and has eye problems and the school board gets sued, then what?
Why can't you stare into the eclipse?
I'm just telling you, that's why they don't do it.
You know how kids are.
Don't you realize how that seems a little silly?
Wait a minute, jackass. You would be the one that says, why can't we look without our glasses and look up at the sun and go blind?
I can't just do regular sunglasses?
See, there you go.
Mind you, they tell you not to even look at the sun directly on a regular day.
Yeah,
No,
but
they tell you cut a hole in a cardboard.
All right, but I've
and then
never
a cardboard flash.
A hole in the cardboard box.
Yeah, but I've never seen a center fielder go on the IL for sun. Like they got to look up and catch some
It's
pop
a
flies every
different-
now and then.
Oh my God, you are a buffoon.
Hold on, dude. Hold on.
The eclipse is a different level of Smeathan. So you two jackass could go outside and be blind together.
I don't think I'd be blind.
Perfect. Smeathan and Tobin, the blind leading the blind.
No, dude, we're not blind leading the blind. I just don't understand it. If the sun is covered, why can't I find?
Wait, yeah, your bro sign says, why can't we use regular sunglasses? And his bro sign says, just squint your eyes.
Squint your eyes.
Squint your eyes.
Hmm.
So you two deserve each other. You deserve to both be blind.
If I Google why can't I look at a solar eclipse, it says every few seconds of viewing the sun during an eclipse can temporarily or permanently burn the macula.
There you go.
Macula? Is it macula?
Another perfect reason why you shouldn't be using bro science.
So, all right, but that says, all right, so what part is that? That's like, okay, that's the small but important center of the retina. Okay. So it says every few seconds.
Trying to find a way out of this.
But if I give it a little peek, like a little head nod.
I want you to. I want you to go outside. Go outside.
Wait. So here's the other problem. Okay, you idiot. My eyes can dial it up. Wait, so
there's a lot of people out there ready for this eclipse. Nobody's got
wait,
one
so
apparently.
wait. So if you do that thing again.
No, you're.
Yeah,
that's what you were doing.
So,
yeah.
But when are you going to see that quick?
Let's get the idea of it. Like, oh, look at that.
That's why you just use cardboard with a hole in it.
Oh my.
But I want to see, but that's not an au natural kind of setting.
Au natural burns your retina.
If you stare like an idiot, like if I'm like,
get the
That's
glasses.
what you want to do.
You got to get the glasses. They look like 3D glasses.
Why can't I just do? But why can't I just use regular sunglasses?
Because it's not.
I got good ones.
They don't block the same rays. That's what the whole thing is.
Isn't it blocked by the moon?
But it's still there's the rays go
'Cause I can
around
stare
the
at the moon
moon
all day.
Here, you understand that part of the reason why that even comes into play is because the sun is like closer, right? So
What's closer?
the rays are even brighter.
No, the moon's closer, dude.
No, I'm saying, but when you have that the eclipse.
Yeah, but like the eclipse is still setting a screen for the sun, right? So like the sun still has to dribble around to get to it. So I got more time to be like, give it a little look.
Oh my goodness.
You
Well,
look
dude,
ridiculous right
wait,
now.
so
The fact that you actually
I'ma
are
just
trying to
say
make
this.
sense of this.
I'm surprised Lynn hasn't run in there and say, stop saying that before we get sued because some dumbass is going to look up in the sun.
How can I get sued? I'm asking a question. I'm not allowed to be
You're
curious.
not answering the question. You're giving suggestions. You and Smith and Small.
giving
That's who
ideas.
I want my life lessons from.
But let's say
Show Pony and Smith and Smalley.
if I were to turn on the lights in here, right? Like, let's count how long I can look at the lights in here because they're pretty bright. And before
You're going to compare those lights to the sun.
oh, I disagree. These lights are very bright in here.
The sun?
Comparing lighting
Hey,
to
no,
the sun.
this is bro science right here.
No, this is Tobin science.
Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
The fact that he
Wait,
3.
why did you say wetty? You didn't even
All
say
right.
wetty. You said wetty.
All right, hold on. Ready?
Yeah.
Are you?
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's enough.
So you think you're going to give it a 4-second stare at the sun?
Give it a little 4-second stare. I think I give it 4 seconds.
You look like you're already crying, by the way.
Oh, listen, yeah, but I'll be okay. I'll rally. You know, I'm not trying to sit like I'm not like a Gila monster. I'm not trying to say
Why
I can
don't you
block out forever.
why don't you just go somewhere and get the glasses for 2 seconds?
What if I just do this? You know, a little hand
Go
over
to
the eyes.
7-Eleven.
What about some eye black? Can I put on some Tua eye black? You know?
Dude, oh my goodness.
But let imagine, like in the daytime, you have to catch a punt, right? And not only do you have to read the toes, you have to read the sun. Doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense that the covered sun would be more dangerous than the actual sun, right? Seems silly. You would agree that seems silly. You know, like what's easier for a defensive lineman to get to the quarterback free, or if there's a blocker there?
There should be a question. Somebody pull it up. Why is an eclipse more dangerous than just staring at the sun?
Why is an eclipse more
dangerous?
I think because you want to look at an eclipse more than just regularly looking at the sun. You're still getting the rays. It's just your natural curiosity makes you
I
look
think
at
the
it.
sun is closer and the rays are brighter or something.
It says the sun is not more dangerous during an eclipse.
Right.
What is dangerous is our curiosity to look at the sun for a longer amount of time.
Who said that?
Boxed in. You're right.
That sounds like a lie. That sounds like a
No,
lie.
no,
Are
that's
you
what it
fake
says.
Googling?
See, you have a no. I swear to God, JFig. What people are getting fooled into is that like you're in more danger, but really what it is, it's a falser sense of security. So I could still give it a little, head nod, peeky poo. I'm giving it 5.
Oh, that doesn't even sound right.
I can.
Look at me. Look at me.
What did you Google?
Look at me.
What exactly?
Why
did you
is an eclipse more dangerous than looking at the sun?
I'm not a scientist, but you probably I'm not gonna say it, but yeah.
You don't have nerve endings on the back of your eyeball, so you
I'm gonna
could be
pull it up. Why is the
experiencing
sun
a burn and not know
more
it?
dangerous
And that
during an
burn
eclipse?
might turn out
You're
to be
saying-
permanent.
But JFig, you're
The
saying
only
the same,
time it
you're
is
saying
safe
the
to
same
look at
thing.
the eclipse without protection is during totality.
But you understand you're saying the same thing, right? Like,
Oh.
obviously, I can't sit here and look at the eclipse willy-nilly, but I can give it a couple seconds.
And you can't willy-nilly look at the full sun either. But
Exactly.
You can give it a few seconds. Yeah.
Just like a center fielder looking for a fly ball.
Okay.
outside.
Okay.
So if I just hold my
No,
baseball
no,
glove up,
no.
find that.
Here, let me give the real answer and not the Tobin answer. Why is the solar eclipse more dangerous than the regular sun?
Mm-hmm.
And it says permanent damage. Your eyes aren't burned, but the blue light can cause a chemical reaction that can permanently damage the retina. The sun is not more dangerous during the eclipse. What is dangerous is our curiosity to look at the sun for a longer amount of time.
Dude, I literally just read that.
No, you didn't.
I literally just read
But
that.
you read
Yeah,
it.
literally just
you
read
did
that.
literally.
I literally just
Here's
The
the
ending
problem.
of what you just
You
said.
read it like when you read stuff, nobody can believe you.
Just because you read something doesn't give it more credibility.
Here's the deal.
Definitely hit the wrong
Here's the
button.
deal. I want you to tell
You're
all
right
these
about it.
people, have you never fake Googled?
I have.
Okay, that's why we can't take you serious.
But I read it once you read.
How do we
Instead
know?
of Cliff Notes,
Once
you did Tobin Notes.
Hold on.
That's what you
Once
did.
you guys read exactly what I read, shouldn't you have said, "Oh, Tobin's right"?
No, because we
No.
still think you're fluffing the numbers.
I'm not fluffing nothing.
If you say Tobin is right, people are going to go outside and we're going to get blamed for this.
No, I'm not.
How are you going to get
So
blamed?
it's still
I'm telling-
it's still dangerous.
All right,
Just
here's a
sharpen the sun.
disclaimer. A disclaimer here for the show. Old Tobes is telling you, don't stare at it because that's stupid. But you can give a little peeky poo.
Oh my
Show
You
them
should
your
never look at
demonstration.
the
Do the
sun.
demonstration.
No.
How
doesn't
should you
really-
look at the
Wait,
sun?
yeah, do a demonstration.
All right, ready? All right, I'm looking straight ahead. Now I want to look up to the sun. Little head nod. All right, that's enough.
No, I like the other one better.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm getting tired of people on vacation chiming into the damn show. If you want to chime into the show, Marcos, then work.
Marcos says -1 Leroy. That's exactly what Tobin read, which is right. Because if I would have done exactly what you did, you would have
You got history, though. You got history being a fake Googler. We can't take you serious.
Stop acting like I'm some Batman villain, the fake Googler.
You are.
Yes, Batman. Yes, misinformation.
You are. Have you not? Listen. Have you not fake Googled from time to time?
So what about this? If I throw my camera and I aim it at the sun, can I then go back and watch it later?
Oh my God.
Google it. I don't know. Google it.
Will it ruin my camera?
No, on the TV station when we used to video, it had to be through a special lens. They used to be very specific about using a special lens for the cameras so that you would see it on TV, but there would still be a filter.
Gotcha.
It says to hold a pair of Eclipse glasses in front of your phone lens or camera lens when taking the picture.
Or you could burn the lens of the phone, correct?
To avoid any damage to your smartphone camera, you will need to purchase an iOS certified filter, actually. Interesting.
I mean, you guys have basically, you would admit, you
No. You always say
I'm
this.
not
No,
agreeing with you because I'm not going to go outside and look at the sun.
You spent this entire segment seeming like you're arguing with me, but you have come to the same conclusion as me.
Hey.
No.
Should I go on the roof and give the people working on my roof a warning?
I feel like
Or
they
should
know.
I not?
Want to warn them about the eclipse? Like, why? So there's shade? I'd probably be like, great.
We're only getting 50%.
Why would
down
it-
here though?
We're only getting 50%?
So it's only covering half of it?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's definitely
And what time is this?
So on.
So it's going to get darker?
Yeah,
kind
a little shady.
Kind of. It's going to feel like it's cloudy.
Well, they moved the Marlins game at the Yankees Stadium today 4 hours because they're supposed to play at 2. Now they're playing at 6 because they didn't want to interfere
Wait
with
a
the
minute.
eclipse.
Hold on. First of all, Dan says,
I know where you're going with this.
They're going to play at 2, and then they play at 6. And I'm like,
You're right.
That's 3.
Wait, I don't understand.
I don't either.
The only 2 people that got
Why
it.
do
you
I
and
know
Dan.
what you're saying?
You said they were supposed to play at 2, and now they're playing at 6, but you threw up 3 fingers.
Yeah.
This is a 6, my friend. This.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh!
-1 again, Leroy.
-1?
-1 for Sass.
Honestly, you did it really low, so we couldn't really see.
I'm going to tell you. I think I'm going to tell you something. No. I want to tell you. No, I want to tell you something.
You're only going to defend Dan Day because he agrees with you, okay?
I really think you. I want
can
you
take it to break from
do
here.
me a favor, Berterer. I want you to do me a favor. You and Leroy, You both need to take a lap after this segment because you
No,
guys
because the
are
sun will. No, the sun will touch my skin.
We'll be back.
Wait, no, he did this. He did this.
All right, welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you. How was your lap, guys?
Taking no damn lap. He only showed 3 fingers in the screen.
Should have.
No
I
lap
didn't
for
see
me.
the 6, and the 6 is like
Covered.
this. Not like this. Threw up 3 fingers.
You're quibbling.
I know.
By the way, coming up tomorrow on the show, a Tobin and Leroy exclusive, as we are going to be giving away a pair of tickets every hour
to
see the Heat play the Raptors in their last regular season game.
Last
Sunday afternoon, everybody, before the Heat embark on their next journey to the finals. So if you guys want to go
the next journey to Cancun.
I don't like that. The Heat's final regular season game, every hour tomorrow, we'll be giving away a pair of tickets to Heat and Raptors.
I did not say it was going to happen. I just said it was a possibility.
I'm going to give you a -1. I didn't like that either.
See, now she's turning on you.
No, okay.
Man. Speaking of
Tell
bad
you what,
things.
I hope they pick it up because I don't want my only sports to be baseball.
Well, apparently the Marlins don't either. The way they're going about things. By the way, Jon Jones got in trouble again this week. He apparently threatened a drug tester at his home, who apparently the word was these testers showed up because, Jon Jones, you got to drug test him. Make sure he's not on that sauce. Well, you got to make sure he's not on everything, to be honest with you. But apparently, according to this from Albuquerque Raw, Albuquerque police responded to a call after a person working from a drug testing agency was trying to obtain a drug test from the UFC fighter Jon Jones. The UFC partners with a drug testing program called Drug Free Sport International, and it is in charge of the collection process. And for several years, they were with USADA. They switched to this new place, probably because Connor wasn't getting any passes, to be honest with you. Sources who are not authorized to speak to the media said the drug tester noticed Jones appeared extremely intoxicated and threatened to kill the tester. Jones at one point even snagged the drug tester's cell phone. The incident happened at the end of March. However, the tester went to a location nearby Jones's home today to report the incident. The court record search did not produce any criminal summons or charges related to the incident as of today. The tester met with officers at another location northeast of Albuquerque.
So here's. I have somewhat of a problem with this, even though it can be 100% accurate, because we all know Jon Jones, right? It's twofold. Can they just show up when they want?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I believe you have to give your location if you're not at your typical residence.
Right. We have to do that in the off season.
You have to let them know where you are.
Because we have random drug tests too, and they would come over to your house.
This guy in particular,
but,
though.
But here's the deal. It is now April.
Yep.
And now it's a problem that you need to go to the police?
Well, it said it happened at the end of March, so that's a week ago.
Oh, that's right. Okay. But what does he press charge for?
Well, they didn't press any charges. It was an incident report. It could have been possible if they wanted it on the record for the drug testing agency, because if he didn't give a test,
they could say it wasn't true, or you could say, or you didn't get a test or whatever.
He tweeted out, and mind you, this is he's had pop tests before on drug testing, so this is even though he's injured right now, he doesn't have a fight scheduled. He's still in the testing pool on how that works.
He's going to be in the testing pool forever. So
he says on Twitter, "Hello, everyone. Hey, John. I wanted to address some misinformation that has been circulating this morning. I woke up to false reports that I had been arrested. I have not been arrested. In fact, I am currently in Texas with my daughters at a volleyball tournament. I must admit, it's disappointing to have to clarify these things, but I understand that I may be an easy target given some of my past issues." Yeah, I'd say so. It's important to set the record straight and make sure the truth is told. I was recently visited by some testers while I was celebrating a birthday and taking a nap. Upon waking up, I was caught off guard by the unprofessionalism and the protocol by one of the testers, which caused frustration, leading me to use some profanity I regret. However, I want to emphasize that at no point did I threaten or get in anyone's face and raise my voice to anyone or engage in any form of assault. It's unfortunate that the false news has been spread without proper fact-checking. I want to assure you that I vigorously defend myself against these baseless accusations. The truth is, the incident simply did not occur. All right.
I would say this. They may be baseless, but you earned it because you've been in a different level of trouble with everybody, right? You're the only person that get DC to cuss.
Yep.
And so, like, but I get it. And I'm not, and I understand that, you know, maybe this time you're offended about what happened, but you have to understand you built this so that everybody's going to think the worst.
Yes,
Now,
he does not have the greatest track record.
Right. That being said, I would deem it to be very awkward for somebody to show up at your house.
Yeah.
While you're having a party and are asleep because maybe you had a tad bit much to drink.
That's not a new thing. People complain about drug testers showing up in inconvenient times. The thing that really annoys a lot of people, especially, they seem to show up very early in the morning. I don't know if that has to do with trying to make sure somebody doesn't.
No.
Something like
Can
that.
I tell you what it has to do with?
Mm-hmm.
You show up early in the morning, so hopefully you ain't got to wait there all day for the dude to pee.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? You show up in the middle of the day. Now we playing the waiting game.
Yeah, we gotta wait.
Right.
Gatorade.
But I would say this is that showing up unannounced, anytime you have the ability to do that, sometimes they pick and choose some awkward situations to show up in. Now, I will say this, I've always gotten a call. Anytime that I've gotten tested, I've gotten a call. And they say, hey, let's set up a time. And the way it happens with us was you had to set up a time within 24 hours. Okay? So you knew when the guy was coming. They don't just show up to your house.
Dalvin Kane says, you remember when Ryan Braun accused the collector of tampering with the sample? Oh, yeah. He threw everybody under the bus.
He threw everybody under the bus.
He did it.
And he's still playing.
No, he's not playing anymore.
He's not playing anymore?
He hasn't played for a few years, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, he came back and apologized, and he went back to making his money.
Oh, he did. Yeah, but no, he hasn't. I don't think Ryan Braun's played for like 4 years or something like that.
All right.
Time flies, dude.
I know. But the stories don't.
Nope. Jon Jones, I believe, according to Chael Sonnen one time, waited out a drug tester under the octagon of his gym and allegedly even peed under the octagon because he had to wait out that drug tester all day. That's a Chael Sonnen story.
I will say this.
Oh,
here's how they do it when you're in camp.
Well, not that, but I think if you don't produce a sample within that 24 hours, it's an automatic fail. Isn't that right, Leroy?
There's a little bit of wiggle room with that because guys travel. So if you're and here's where there's places all over, right? So they would just kind of do it with somebody else. But guys travel out of the country. When will you be back? Okay, we'll wait. Stuff like that. I played with a guy like during minicamp. They did like random testing, like it was, the season. So if you had a tag, you had to go pee in the cup. And I know a guy that would disappear for 3 days when the tag was in his. I'm just saying, like they're cutting tile and crap on my roof.
I thought that was your stomach.
Yeah, sounds like that. I thought that was the BGs.
I'm so sorry, but it's
if that's my stomach, I need to go directly to the ER.
You were very close to the microphone. I don't know.
Not my stomach. So yeah, there's like just randomly showing up, like I would always get my drug test first thing in the morning, right? And keep in mind, here's the other thing. It's only a steroid test and a test for illegal. So
yeah, not testing them for blow or anything like that. They only test for that usually the night of the fight.
right. So from that standpoint, like anybody that failed in the NFL that failed a weed test, when you knew, I can tell you right now when they were getting tested for it, and that's during camp, you are a moron.
Take a quick break, play a little All Right, Oh No to close things out on a Monday. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Time to close out a Monday the way we always do. A little all right. Oh, no. My all right goes to Cody Rhodes.
All right.
Wins the WWE Championship over Roman Reigns. The long title reign is over. John Cena came out, tried to help him. The Undertaker strangely showed up out of nowhere. Tough night for The Rock, you know. Thought this big comeback was going to happen for Rocky, and apparently he got Undertakered. That's tough. Good run for him, though. Got to feel good for Cody. And, of course, yes, when I say Undertaker, I mean Nikola Jovic. She's the one who delivered the choke slam.
Of course.
It'd be a high choke slam. Right. He'd send Rocky right down there. Yeah.
Why? Undertaker's not short.
Yeah, but he's not as tall as Jovic, dude.
What is he, 6? Undertaker's got to be 6'4", 6'5", right?
I think more than that.
More than that, yeah.
7.
The Undertaker 6'10"?
Yeah.
I
thought so.
I thought it was just, cameras.
No, listen, every situation is not Rocky.
How about that?
So take it back. I was right.
All right. You're even on the day for scolding me, even though you read the exact same thing that I did. By the way, it also says clouds are going to ruin the eclipse for a lot of people. So you're doubly safe. You got clouds and the eclipse. Stare at that sun all you want, dude.
That was a joke.
Yeah, but
don't take it seriously.
I'm just saying, you guys.
Why do we have to be your disclaimer? I don't want to be your disclaimer. Yes, we do.
You think that I'm going to be hit with a lawsuit for? I was told I could stare in the sun by Tobin.
I'm an athlete. I've been told my whole life I need to raise other people's kids. Why not? Somebody will find a reason to sue you.
Interesting. Goes to Major League Baseball and the Players Union. They're quibbling.
Oh no!
Out of a Leroy, you okay, dude?
It's not me.
It has not stopped.
Apparently they're fighting now over the pitch clock because the union is blaming the pitch clock for all these rash of elbow injuries. So it appears yet again we have a new fight between the players and the league. It sucks, all these players who are getting hurt. Marlins didn't even get to have their pitch clock though, because Yuri Perez got hurt before the pitch clock even was a thing.
Yep.
So that sucks. What do you got, Leroy, for your all right and oh no?
My all right is going to be Marlins got off the schneid. All right. Got their first win. It's amazing. Didn't even have to watch the whole game.
Nah.
That's how convincing it was. Go watch other stuff. Although as soon as they went up like 4-0, Robbie placed the bet on the other team, which is amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
And my oh no, not my oh no, but yeah, my oh no is, I would like for it to go to these roofers who finally show up and work as loud as possible.
Yeah, especially since it sounds like you got the BGs.
No, I don't have the BGs.
I understand you don't.
Sounds a lot like your stomach.
What are we doing? My stomach is quite happy right now.
All
I had plenty of snacks to sustain me throughout the show. So stop. Oranges, apples, nice, healthy snacks.
Clean.
Right.
JFig, what's your?
Hold on. Did I do my?
You did not do your own no.
You just said roofers.
Oh wait, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. All right, my roof.
You can do another one if you have another one.
That's all right. I did, but that's okay. Because I think they're mad because I made I may or may not have called about when are they going to put the towels up because they showed up for like 1 hour and then left. So it's like pretty annoying because the guy was waiting in my driveway at 8:15 for a check.
That is annoying.
Right. So yeah. So that's I was right.
JFig, what's your all right? No.
Well, my all right goes to my weekend, which I had a great time.
Right.
It all started out with the Tortuga pre-party on Thursday, where I met Warren Zaders. That was my stomach. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Whoa!
I tried covering that one up.
You okay? What'd you have today?
Water. I've had
So
water.
you're just hungry?
I'm hungry. Yes.
Have a sandwich, man.
I will after this show.
Well, you didn't join the show till 12:40.
Yeah, like what are you doing?
Right. Get a
Been
snack.
here. Okay, can I finish?
Go ahead, but I'm just saying.
Sorry,
Please.
Warren Zamboni, you met him.
So I met Warren. I went to Tortuga, and guess who I saw at Tortuga?
Tua?
Robbie.
Oh,
At STI. Yep.
surprised you can't gamble on Tortuga.
He tried really hard to get the iPad in. Did not work.
All right, what's your no?
My no goes to my Sunday that I kind of had to have a recovery day, and also I had an allergic reaction to something, and I don't know what it is.
Oh no!
The
I'm
sun.
gonna think it's the booze from Tortuga.
No, I'm assuming it's the sun.
Yeah.
With the booze. I mean, like you have
The sun.
like it's not a great mix.
Nope.
Hey,
I
that was
didn't-
hungover.
So basically,
Didn't
Dan
drink.
Day's looking at her going, amateur.
I didn't drink.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
You didn't drink? At
You didn't drink.
Tortuga? Then
That's
why
a
did you-
definite.
then why did you not? Why'd you go to Tortuga?
Because I went to go see music. I was there to
You to a
enjoy.
music festival sober?
Yeah, like well, that's
Yep.
not fun.
I
Wait a
mean,
minute.
priests
Even
and nuns don't
Tobin,
even do
every
that.
concert Tobin goes to, he's holding some type of pink lemonade drink or something with his wife.
And let me tell you something, dude. Saturday night, no Heat to watch. Whew. Old Tobes got after it. And then after losing to the Pacers,
Tobin got
Old
after
Tobes
it.
got after it.
Oh no!
Dan Day, what's your all right? No.
I'm gonna give it to Tiger Woods because he is expected to be at the Masters this
Yep.
weekend, and if he makes the cut, it will be a record 24th
Wow.
consecutive making the cut at the Masters.
Yep. You know who holds the previous record? I
Sam
think
Snead?
Freddie Couples,
Yep, you're right.
23.
Man, that's amazing. And it's always more exciting to watch golf when Tiger Woods is involved.
All 2 rounds that he plays.
It does.
Because he hasn't made it through 4. It's hard for him to walk, and he'll play one of the 2 good rounds, and it'll help him make the cut. And then it's a matter of just making it through the weekend.
What's your oh no, Dan?
I'm going to give it to the tip-off time for the national championship game tonight.
Oh my god.
9:20.
I'm out for that, dude.
I mean, I'm going to watch it, but 9:20.
What are we doing?
9:20.
I mean, in the West Coast, it's 6. It's going to end up being 6:30.
Yeah, what does it
6:40.
matter to the West Coast? 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Who cares?
Yeah, it's way too early.
Plus-
there, way too late here.
Nobody has a problem when their asses got to get up and watch football at 9, college at 9 o'clock, and NFL at 10.
Why don't they just do a double header day? Like, why don't they just do the men's and the women's the same day?
Because
On a
nobody will
Sunday.
watch the men's.
If they did it after?
Oh yeah. No, if you saw the women, once the women ended,
I understand this I understand this was a great year, and I hope that it continues. But I'm just saying, it's very strange to me that they've always put the final the Monday after. Like, why not just have a championship day? I don't understand that.
all right, this guy says, are you going to give the golf picks? I'll give my golf picks on Wednesday.
Yeah, he's got to do some research, dude.
Yeah, I gotta do a little research, see who's hot, who's not. Your boy is trying to get back into form, but he's not quite there. Rory.
Oh, he ain't gonna win. No shot.
All he needs is to win the Masters for the
Rory Slam.
all 4 for the Grand Slam.
been
But
saying
here's
that
the kicker. Some would say the Masters is the easiest one to win.
I don't even know who that was. Was that JFig or was that Leroy?
That's the roofers.
It was not me.
Hard to say.
At any point in time, I'm waiting for somebody to fall through the roof. Because what is there up there to saw?
They're interviewing right now a couple that's getting interviewed under the eclipse. in
I mean, they're getting married under the eclipse.
Yeah, they're getting married under the eclipse. Excuse me. Sorry.
It's a big piece of information.
So when they go, I do. They both look up and burn their retina and then sue.
No, one guy's got like he's got a bow tie on, a red bow tie on, and he's wearing an Angel's
Wait,
hat.
he literally looks like Pee Wee Herman with an Angel's hat and Tyler Hero sunglasses on.
Yeah, it does.
And a mustache.
Do they have glasses on?
You can see right there.
He
He's in the
does.
corner.
She does not.
Let me see if I can move this arm.
Oh, is she pregnant? I hope she is.
Why?
Now they're done
What?
talking to us.
Why?
Hope those 2 crazy kids make it.
Russellville, Arkansas.
Hey, we're very excited about John Calipari. We're very excited about getting married here under this eclipse. Suey pig.
No, that's not how it goes.
What does it go?
Suey.
They don't say pig afterwards. It's just Suey.
No.
Oh, well,
'Cause
that's
it's
a
a
show for
razorback. It's not a pig.
Oh, samesies, dude.
There they go. Sweet pig, sweet pig, sweet.
That's our show for today, everybody. We will talk to you rascals tomorrow.